kind of a down part. Oh wait, in the audio, but we'll come in there. It's like a low mood. Oh, it's gone now. Hold on, maybe we'll get a better energy here. Shit. What are we doing? Oh my god. Welcome back to Metro Grid. My name is Andre. How y'all doing? It is a Thursday night. It is the 12th of the 11th. This music is just not doing it right now. It's just too slow. It's too slow. It's just too slow. Okay, we're gonna hit that button, and now the music's gone, so we can make our own music now. How's it going? My name is Andre. Welcome to Metro Grid. How y'all doing? Chris, Netrunner time. Joining tonight with an old-fashioned with a splash of Grand Mariner. I fight most instinct to call it Mariner, but it actually might be Mariner. Parallel, how's it going? Yo, what is that dragon next to your name? What is that? GlitchCon 2020. Is that a hacking thing? Are you a hacker? Anarcho, what is that mysterious black box? What secret does it hold? That's how lazy we are around here. That is the old Pat webcam. There's a chance that that webcam would actually just pierce straight into Pat's apartment unbeknownst to him, which would have been an issue. But luckily it's just black, so it's fine. I'm not just like the badge. Oh, really? Okay. Baza, what up? Happy Thursday. Yo, how you doing, dude? Welcome. It's a nice badge. It's a little nice little lizard or dragon or dinosaur. Andre we may. Yo, man, how's it going? How you doing? How you doing out there? Welcome. I had all intentions of taking a shower today. I didn't. And that's the problem when you put these many lights on you, is you can see how shiny I am. I'm a greasy person. And so we're gonna have to sit with that fact. We're gonna have to deal with that while we enjoy some Netrunner tonight. Hope you're all doing well. Secrets of Pat, truly such deep lore. It's we have no idea. I let you know, I've known Pat for a long time, and Pat lived at a different apartment for a couple years, and I've never was able to see it. Which makes me think one of two things. Either one, he never did the dishes, and he was so deep into that world that he decided, at this point, I have to become a recluse, and I just have to make sure that no one ever sees this again. Because there's no way anybody can think that I have my shit together if they saw this. Or the second, he's up to some like suspicious shit. And I'm more likely to believe the second, considering, you know the guy, right? You know how he is. So we'll definitely know at one point. Yo, Port Valley, also Pascal. Woo, yo, welcome. How's it going? Happy Thursday night. Maybe even Friday morning at this point. The world works with that. Have you considered that he might be some kind of spy, deep cover? It has always come up to some extent. It needs to be considered every once and again. And there's not a lot of evidence that will support that theory, but there's equally not a lot of evidence that would confront that theory and stop it. So who knows? Who really knows? Axe murder. Whoa, that really paints it in a different light. Pat is an Arkham horror scenario calling it. Welcome to Pat's place. Baza says secretly a magician. Magicians don't do the dishes. They have too much going on, and you saw what happened with Mickey Mouse and the broomsticks. That was actually going pretty well for a while. I just think that was more of a moral about scalability, I think. It was meant to be like some sort of design architecture problem. It'd be like, okay, cool, you made a system, you made a piece of software, but you didn't think about scalability. And then Mickey scaled, but he scaled at a rate that was largely I want to say unfeasible, right? It's been a while since I've seen that. I also read Broomsticks and I thought about Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, which I'm convinced also had that same underlying narrative. Secretly a late night radio DJ or jazz artist. Oh, that'd be also pretty cool too. There's a big chance that everyone's like deep lore that you paint about anybody is way more interesting than their life alone. And I think that's a really important thing about social media. That if you are really, plugged into the social media and you post a lot of pictures of yourself and videos, whatever, people can understand what your life is like. And usually, you color that in a way that makes it more interesting. But if you don't color it at all, maybe it's the most interesting after all. No evidence is suspicious. Anywho, Pat as well. We played some board games on the weekend on the internet. We played PAX Pamir 2nd Edition, which is a game I picked up, and Maddie and I played it a couple times with 2-player, and we figured out it's pretty cutthroat with 2-player. There's this rule that just says if you're more than 4 victory points ahead, game's over. So really, if you lose like 2 rounds in a row, that's it. I think it's a fascinating game, and I need to play more of it. And we also played, I taught Pat BattleCon. I don't know if you know BattleCon, but level 99 games are something special, and I got really kind of into BattleCon this last week, and I'm really excited to play more. It is kind of the coolest thing. But also there's huge issues with, man, I just wish they presented their cards in a better way, but they don't. Social media is our generation's leaded gasoline. I am of the generation to not know what leaded gasoline means. Oh, Narco, BattleCon, heck yeah. Hell yeah. I'm glad you know. I'm glad you know what this is about. BattleCon's really cool. I've been working my way through the path of Carcosa. Sadly, Patrice Hathaway did not make it. I'm really bummed to hear that. Patrice, she seems pretty resilient to Taki, but sorry to hear that. I actually just finished last night, returned to Path of Carcosa with my group. I gotta say, Carcosa is usually most everyone's favorite scenario, but it was kind of boring. The climax was kind of boring. It's been too long since I played Path of and then Return to, so I can't know what's changed. But the final scenario this time around was just, I was kind of sitting there punching someone over and over again, so it didn't really do much. Physical BattleCon are on Steam, on Tabletop Simulator, SADS. There's BattleCon Online, which is a free-to-play game if you want, but no, we just did it on TTS. It's easier to teach, I think. They put lead in gasoline for unclear reasons to no real benefit, but lead poisons people and destroys their brains. And in retrospect, it was a huge and pointless mistake. Really no reason? For absolutely no reason. From my understanding, lead made people more aggressive. That's what I understood. I think there's science to that. I don't actually know. This is Omar. This is the deck list of the week, by the way. Pesky says there were some reasons. That can't be a hot take. There must have been some reasons. John says there is as well. Okay. How's it going, John? Why do you want lead in the fuel? I know that it says unleaded fuel on places. Like, that's a novelty. It's like unleaded milk. Like, you have to label that for some reason. Like, technically it's true, but I guess people were putting lead in the fuel. Why lead in fuel? Automotive manufacturers were searching for a chemical that would reduce engine knock. That's something we're all concerned about. In 1921, automotive engineers working for General Motors discovered that tetraethyl provided octane to gasoline, preventing engine knock. Okay. Robert says lead and gas reduced knocking, and in some respects made cars run smoother. Sick. And when was this a bad news? When did we decide that the engine knock was a worse issue than us becoming aggressive? Why do you need to specify milk is unleaded? Because it is. It's like when people say like cholesterol free, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't have cholesterol. Broccoli. It's like, is this suspicious? Andres, today, throwback to Thursday. Solemn, oh, yo, how's it going? Not yet. So there's a throwback tournament coming up in the beginning of December. I'm actually sitting down with Eric this weekend to talk about the format and how we're going to present things, so I can confidently talk about it next week. And then we'll probably do a throwback stream either next week or the week after. But not today, unfortunately. Soon, though. Eli, what up? Cars run smoother, but you get lead poisoning. Pros and cons. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing. It's probably a horrible thing to happen to people. Great. Reason number one, wow, we got all this lead. What are we going to do with it? Oh, man. It made the fuel heavier, and that's why the engine didn't knock, right? Because lead is heavy. People didn't realize the lead in the atmosphere was bad for neurological development. Oh, wait, you didn't write atmosphere, though. You wrote automosphere, which I would believe to be a word, but I don't know. Okay. Preventing engine knock, some irreversible brain damage, probably fine. Yikers. But is it an issue if you're just around it, or like do you like the fumes is a problem, or you have to actually eat the fuel? And from my understanding, like eating any amount of fuel, regardless of the leading situation, is probably a mistake. Whenever you write like an Omar joke, I think that's a pretty relevant first sentence. You have to explain why. And Omar is an interesting ability. The problem with this ability, like well, not like a lot, but this was a thing that was constant, pretty at the time during this cycle. I don't know the name of the cycle anymore. The hard-hitting news cycle, in which a lot of people had only 12 influence. This ability says to make a run on archives successful, you can treat it as a successful run on another central server. And the ruling of when you decide what server to run on is interesting. They had to look over that a couple times. But the idea is that Omar puts on a lot of pressure for an exchange of 3 influence. And a lot of people don't play Omar, right? Because rebirth is a thing. And you could always start out as a Valencia Estevez, have maybe a bigger deck, start with that bad publicity, and then rebirth into Omar. And that's kind of the thing, is like Omar is strongest in theory once the corp has actually started icing up central servers. They generally don't ice up archives that well, and then you make it, oh, you put 3 ice on R&D. That looks stupid now because I've done this. But the idea is that if you start with Omar, sure, you get some pressure on, kind of like starting with Alice, but we're playing an Apocalypse list. And there is an Apocalypse Omar, again, somebody in my meta was testing for Worlds-ish last year, and they liked the deck a lot, but that deck actually had DDoS in it, which was legal a year ago, and that's a really strong pressure card for somebody who can pressure a lot of servers. The question with Omar is, do you always ice up centrals first, like HQ and R&D centrals, or do you ice up archives first, which gives you flexibility, but then if you ice up archives and not the central server that they're going to archives access to, what's the point? So it's fascinating. Otherwise, we have Hijacked Router, which is cool. It's an archives pressure card. There's actually not that many good archive pressure cards besides Omar, Hijacked Router, and of course things like Sneak Door Beta or just like Data Sucker and Amakua. It's an interesting list. It's not very splashy. I'm not a big fan of Apocalypse lists. I don't like this card. It's incredibly strong and it feels really polarizing. Some decks just can't do anything about it. Some decks can. So many decks where if you hit this, you just win the game, and it just feels kind of bad. And we're on Eater, which is an AI, which can be a bit dodgy with things like IP block. There's not that much other AI hate that I can think of, but you just play this and get money and then Apocalypse someone. So it's a bit one-dimensional, and then we have 2 Stargates to finish the game off. We also have no like a lot of times with Apocalypse lists, classically we've been seeing a lot more Aesop's Pawn Shop as a cool way to get your breakers back, but Eater is, you don't need all your breakers all the time. Wall atmosphere. It's one of those big corporate type situations that technology of car engines and improved to the point that they didn't need lead in the fuel anymore in the 60s or 70s, but it stuck around because it was good money for the big fuel companies to just not change things. Massively oversimplifying the situation, obviously. Yeah, sure. But okay, that makes a bit of sense. Apparently, there was still lead in the fuel in the 80s. Oof. This idea is like a mistake, right? I wouldn't say that. Like, what do you mean a mistake? As a choice for the deck, or like as a mistake to print this thing? It's like really weird, right? Like when it's worth knowing when Omar came out, people were kind of confused to some extent because Omar was just basically not strictly a better version of Sneak Door Beta because it's only once a turn, and it also doesn't cost 4 and take up 2 MU, but an interesting version of Sneak Door Beta, which seemed like a very criminal thing. But the criminal focus was more on HQ, and Anarchs were in theory meant to capitalize on archives. Now, Anarchs like affinity to archives, I don't actually think kind of solidified in any meaningful way over the years. Like we do have a lot of cards that care about archives, things like Retrieval Run, things like Glut Cipher, things like that 3-cost run that lets you access all the centrals that came out in Rain and Reverie I never know the name of. Yeah, but I never really did that, and it's kind of hard to pressure archive. Crypt is an archive card, I think it's called Crypt. So I don't know. Immolation Script, oh, that's a good one actually. That's a fun one. So yeah, I don't know. It never really happened, which is a bummer because you have to print like really strong cards to pressure archives. For what it's worth, like Hoshiko kind of pressures archives, I guess. I tuned in Glut Cypher's mentioned. Yo, how's it going, Jessica? This is my friend Javi's deck. Oh shit, yeah. Okay, cool. We're about to play it. Vincent also, sub homies. Yo, how's it going? Hijacked and Omar is a combo, or does his ability replace the successful run on archives and make it not work? No, because it's not a replacement actually. Whenever you make a successful run on archives, you may trash. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, excuse me. No, because you still make a successful run. I honestly don't know. That's a good question. Oh, Ken, thank you. Divide and Conquer, yeah. Sid 7 will have words about you ripping on Crypt. Uh-oh, I'm actually excited for those. Yeah, does it work? I don't know. Yo, Floopy, what's up? I'm surprised with the lack of stim hack. I have no doubt the lack of stim hack is in his deck because they just don't want to hit Apocalypse. I'll be honest, a bigger thing that I'm surprised besides the lack of stim hack is a lack of zero. And a lot of Anarch Apocalypse decks will just say, fuck it, I got Apocalypse, I'm just going to zero. And then hope you don't hit it. And even if you do hit it, you have 3 of these and like 2 labor rights. So you don't care too much. But I think zero is even a more potent card a lot of times. That being said, like you do go pretty far with a count, obviously with stim hack. Like we're not saying anything new here. With Eater, it's like all you need is money. It also lets you install your heat breakers. And Wanton Destruction, mind you, is a really cool card. I think this card could be played outside of Apocalypse. It's just one of the best HQ pressure cards, and people don't respect it. Pretty sure you control the order of those 2 events. The run would be declared successful, instead change the attack server, then the run is declared successful. So if they both stack, yeah, the idea is that it's your turn. So you can do the hijack router first, and then you can do the Omar, because they have the same trigger. We're hoping, right? Like surely when making this card, you're like, this is obviously a rebirth target and nothing more. That's like such a big issue though. It's such a bummer when it comes to rebirth. Like rebirth just absolutely destroys the viability of certain IDs and just basically makes those IDs into resources, which is such a bummer. And eventually rebirth will rotate, but like Rebirth has just no cost associated to it. Like Rebirth easily could have been 3 influence. Rebirth could have cost money. Rebirth could only been played after a successful run on a central server. Like there's so many things you could do to make Rebirth much more palatable than it is right now. But like it's just an auto include in basically any ID that starts with an ability and doesn't give you anything further than on turn 1. It's cool when it's played as an interesting card. Like it's kind of cool that in certain matchups an Anarch will rebirth and it'll be like, okay, 95% of the time Omar. But then the other 5% it's cool. Sometimes it's Quetzal, sometimes it's Edward Kim, sometimes it's Quetzal. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a bummer. I've been playing Zero a lot lately, and it's a silly card. Yeah, Zero is just really good. Luckily it is like pretty well themed, so I don't think anybody minds. Do you think Omar seems to trigger before the run's successful? Or no, never mind. Yeah, Omar happens kind of at the same time. I don't know. I think the rules errata makes it that Omar overrides everything. You think? So there has to be like a lot of errata rules. By the way, the other Omar decks that I think we've seen classically are like Find the Truth decks, which are incredibly powerful. But they're... Wow, okay, wait, hold on. Does the runner have to choose a server for Omar's ability when it's used or when the runner archive is successful? The choice is not made until the relevant part of the ability resolves. Okay, so you don't have to make that decision until it's resolved. And that matters for cards like Find the Truth. And Find the Truth says... Yeah, Find the Truth. The ruling is apparently not here. But it says... Yeah, no, that's not even the ruling. How's the interaction with Find the Truth and Omar work? Right, because you have to choose the server before you see the top card. It doesn't work with FTT, right? So you have to basically choose your server and then you see the top of R&D. I played at Canadian Nationals in 2018, I'm going to guess. Maybe 2019. But back then people didn't know the ruling of this, and so the judges had to make a call, and I think they called in the way that actually benefited Omar Find the Truth a lot better, where you could see the top of R&D first to find the truth, and then make your Omar decision whether you want to go R&D or HQ. And that obviously is not the right ruling, and I don't hold anybody doing organized play like whatever. Yeah, as long as you're consistent when nobody knew the ruling, that's fine. But yeah, it doesn't work like that. That definitely favored them. Kenneth screwed it up. Yeah. Yeah, you know, you were there. Rebirth is one of those cards that I really wish had never been printed, and I'll be happy when it's gone. Yeah, DJ Fenris you saw is like another version of that, and I think it's much more interesting because it's a sub pool of the cards. And it also, I think any card that makes subtypes relevant is kind of fascinating because a lot of times nobody knows what the subtypes are on identities. I saw a cool rebirth the other day from Hoshiko to Ed Kim to kill HPTs on Audacity against Argus. Yeah. I think that's one of the good ones you rebirth into. Ed Kim, or if you rebirth against, if you're playing against Argus, yeah, I think you probably do that. Unless you really need Omar's accesses, or against Atlas. I was going to say Project Atlas's identity. Titan Transnational, obviously, that's very, very good. If this card had 3 more influence, it's probably better as a proper ID. Yeah, I think that's the case. And it's just such a bummer, like, to convince people to play a 12 influence identity when you could just like play somebody else and rebirth into it. It just makes it a harder sell. Also, Fenris lets you combine different faction IDs, just getting you access to a better ID built in your own faction. That's a really good point. DJ Fenris lets you build something that couldn't exist, and that's fascinating. Like, what about if they made, I don't know if that's good, but if they made something similar to the Fate system. I always think about the Fate system and I never played the game, in Legends of the Five Rings. But the idea is that you bring something into play and then you invest in it with counters and you lose a counter every turn. I've never played Legend of the Five Ring, this might be wrong. But you lose a counter every turn and then it disappears when it runs out of counters. Kind of like, you know, Earthrise Hotel. But the idea is that you could pull another ability for a couple turns if you paid for it. That'd be cool, like a resource. Whatever. And I love how Nisei's actually been reprinting a lot of the old IDs as resources, at least in Honor, right? Like not a direct reprint of Andromeda, but a similar Andromeda ability. And Mr. Lee at the same time. Why not? Dizzle. New Renner deck. Let's go. Haley and Geist, the all-time power couple. That's the thing though, like I think if you're playing Haley, you want to DJ Fenris the Geist. But I think if you're playing Geist, DJ Fenris into Haley is a waste of time. I don't know. Everyone loves it because obviously it's super efficient, but it's always way too expensive and you never need it. Especially with like all the other ways to free install now that exist in Geist. But yeah, they are in theory a power pair. What are we? What Omar? We just talked about this. I love the theme of conspiracy theorists, and I don't think it came through that well in the cards besides Frantic Coding, which is just like such a cool card. But I wish that was explored a bit more. What console is meant to be Omar's? Is there a console that's like specifically Omar-esque? Oh, Omar has all the breakers too. Like those, the bin breakers are conspiracy breakers. Those are also obviously very good. All right, so in this matchup, we have to watch out. Obelisk. It's Obelisk. What does Obelisk mean? Why though? Why? So we need to watch out that we don't get Chrism Grid, Border Control, Nisei Mark II, Ag Infusion. There's so many things that actually pressure us. Omar is the guy behind the bin breakers, yeah, because all the bin breakers are references to conspiracies, and a lot of them are real conspiracies. Like MK Ultra is a real thing, and it's really fucked up. And Black Orchestra is, I think, a Nazi thing. Paperclip, I think, is also a Nazi thing. Patchwork is Nat? Yeah. Omar's console's Ma? No, Alice's is Ma, though, for sure. Thanks, you too. Okay, opening hand. Good money. We're against RP, so it's probably an acid spam deck. It could be Glacier, but if we're acid spam deck and we're Apocalypse, that's pretty good. Now this deck has some good ice. Like they do plan to ice up archives, and they have good ice for archives. Things like Crick are like a nightmare for us to deal with. So this opening hand's like okay, but it's pretty boring. Like we would sure gamble daily cast, career fair daily casts. It's fine. Otherwise we're looking for an eater, but I think if we have to deal with assets, we can just keep this hand, and then we have drip economy. We can keep the board down a bit. Mull for Router. Oh, John, that's a really good point. We have 3 Router in this deck. If we were playing against assets, we definitely should mull for Router. I forgot about Router. Gumbeak says Operation Paperclip was a US government program to shield Nazi scientists from justice in return for their knowledge in rocketry. Ooh. Black Orchestra was a plan to kill Hitler by the Nazis. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, so they're going to have 5 credits at the start of turn. We have no real reason to run archives. So we have to watch out. This is a Sundew iced up. I think we want them to spend money. So we're just going to run here into HQ and hope we don't hit a snare. I know Ma's and Omar's, but they sound so similar, Ma and Oma. We'll trash Rashida. So we'll force them to res here. 5 credits. Like they can't res anything too big, so it's probably an Enigma, right? Oh, Sai Sintan. Jesus, fuck. Okay. That's fine. This is a fine try. They called event, so we're going to do at least 4 net damage. Wow, that's actually really bad. Wait, what? Never mind. Oh, I didn't realize we had 2 events. I thought we only had 1. Yeah, Labor Rights Career Fair. Cheers. That's kind. Oh man, so this is why you play Sison 10 over what's it called? Over the other one. 5-1 Kominu. Hey, thanks for the game. That's hilarious. Okay, so I face checked there, like, right? Like, I wasn't playing around Saisentan. If we hit Cortex Lock, like, we survive. If we hit Komainu, we survive. Now, Saisentan, it's actually, like, pretty likely to be lethal. So we hit, it does 3 net damage, right? So they had to, if we had 2 events in hand, exactly, we die. And we had 2 events in hand. So opening with Sure Gamble, right? Do you call event there? I don't know if you call even event there. Like, obviously it worked out. But I've had worse, obviously it's awful, but that's going to fire no matter what. And then at least you get another damage, so that's not too bad. So yeah, if we have exactly 2 of the card they called, and I think the other thing they would have called is resource. So I think we die here no matter what they call. Because I don't think you call program or hardware. We've seen some cool program calls for damage decks. It hits Stargate, but I don't think you do it. Well, fuck. Curb your size Senton. Oh man. Okay. Alright. Let's run that back. Now, if we had 15 influence, that wouldn't have happened. Hope we don't hit a snare. The thing is, like, if we hit a snare there, it's not even that bad, right? Like, they spend 4, we have a tag. The tag doesn't matter. They can't res their ice on the remote. We take down their Sundew. It's honestly, snare would have been preferable, but of course, we didn't die. Sync, okay. This is a nightmare because we're not on misdirection. Sync, mind you, says the tags cost 3 credits to flip, to remove. We're not in misdirection, and we're going to have to apocalypse them through things like Data Raven, which means that unless we play, I think we do have a card that gives us extra clicks. We do have Amped Up, but unless we Amped Up, we won't be able to clear the tags proactively. Now, the best thing we do have is Wanton Destruction. That's really powerful if they don't ice up HQ, which they might be opting to ice up our archives. So we have a chance of hitting a hard-hitting news from hand, and that could be pretty good. Now, this hand's not amazing, like the Wanton's sick, but I think we want to mulligan for some economy, because if we are interacting with them, they're going to play like, what's it called? No Yogurt into hard-hitting news, which costs 12 to clear. By no yogurt, I mean economic warfare. Thanks, you too. Hydra kill, let's go. Yeah. I don't know. Hydra killed, like what? Ganked Hydra? Oh man, this is sick, right? Like, this is exactly what happens where you would hit them for 4. Now this is looking obviously like it's an NGO friend, and I think we'll spend a click running it, and we're gonna play Dirty Laundry, I guess, to HQ, just to get some more money here. But they might have more. Yeah, there you go. There's the economic warfare. So like economic warfare into hard-hitting news, we are gonna lose on the spot. So if we don't run this, they basically get another 2 credits. So is our click worth 2 credits? Ideally, we want to draw into a Sure Gamble. Oh, that's good too, but obviously we can't Dirty Laundry this, because then it will disappear and then we won't get our money. So we actually might have to Dirty Laundry like archives or something. Okay, because we need to make sure we have more money than them, because they can easily economic warfare us into hard-hitting news and then we'll lose the game on the spot. Not on the spot, I don't know. They'd have to have the boom in hand and have the money. So we're going to go HQ again and hope we don't hit a snare. Ghost Branch should have been fun. Consulting visit. Okay, so whether they're on 6 Wayland cards, they're probably on 3 economic warfare. They have a boom, and then they have 2 more Wayland cards. I don't know what they are. Maybe they're on garbage ice walls. But they basically have everything in their hand to bury us here. They could do economic warfare into consulting hard-hitting news. Now, I don't think they have the money for that, because you're paying 5 to do a trace 4, and we'd be on 7 credits. So I don't think they have it. But if they do, like, GG. Get back into HQ and trash that HHN. Oh, fuck, they have Gamble. Okay. Do they have just... They have the hard-hitting news. Okay. Cool. So they have exactly 6 credits, which is enough to kill us, because as long as we have 2 tags. So we can't clear 3 tags. If we do credit, right? Like, what can we do here? If we had if we draw into an Wanton Destruction, we have a chance here. But if we clear 2 tags, that's 6 credits. So there's no way we can clear 3 tags. And they need 6 credits to do Consulting Visit to boom. So I think we exactly die right here. So we have to get the Consulting out of hand, or we have to cost them money. So you can Amped Up and clear. Well, the tags cost 3 credits, so I don't think so. Right? Because if we Amped Up, yeah, okay. So we suffer brain damage. That largely doesn't matter. And then we have 2 extra clicks. So we'll be on 6 and 6 clicks. So we can clear 2 tags. So before then we can do credit, clear tag. Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, I think you're right. We can just do it. How's it going, Philip? Lloyd, how's it going? Keep running those nets. Oh man, we just got punished hard for running those nets. I don't know, man. Okay, so we do this. We'll be on 6-6. Okay, so 6-6. So we do clear tag, clear tag. We have no money. We do credit, 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 clear tag. So yeah, we can do it. It's obviously awful, but it's a more likely play than... Oh, we trashed the Apocalypse. Great. But it's... At least we survive. But we're on no money, so like, what are we going to do? This deck makes a strong case for bringing networking. Yeah, this deck, networking eats it. But I think the bigger issue is like if you play against Misdirection, it's so miserable. Misdirection is just absolutely abysmal. That's a great play. Yeah, we had a couple outs there. Like, but the other ones were top decking. Like if we hit a hijack router, we can survive for a turn. If we draw Wanton Destruction, A+. That's actually really good. Unless they top deck another solution. But now we're just going to click for credits. And we still have that single tag, which shouldn't matter. We could career fair this thing out, but they destroy it, probably. So we're just going to do fuck all. Misdirection's a really silly card, but I think it's necessary. People were like really upset at the time that Misdirection came out because Hardening News was like really alive and well. I wonder if they're going to do something here like consulting into closed accounts or like market forces, but I don't think they have a lot of that punishment. Like here they can just start scoring out Bolognas, right? Because if we run here... So it's going to be such a long time for us to be able to play Netrunner. That's a cute card, though. Yeah, we don't have any tech against this. Cool. What's a Bologna? So Wanton would be really sweet. So we're just going to slowly draw into that. Oh, that's good. All right. So we're back into the game a bit, I guess. They do know we're in Apocalypse. We're going to have to go through the ice on R&D. They only have 8 credits. They played a gamble, but they can push out pretty easily here. And they're likely, again, it's a 44 card deck. So they're on 3 6-pointers. So we're looking at 3 Bologna, probably 3 Degree Mill, which is actually hard for us to interact with right now. Oh, that's good. That's a good time to install the router. Yeah, it's not bad, right? Oh, I see what you mean. So I think we just sit back and liberated accounts and do nothing. This is the world's art. Cook, what's up? It's Happy's list. Yeah, it totally is. We lost a game on turn 1 though, so Happy, what are you thinking? If this is a list that we're looking at, this card is probably product placement, and on top of this is a Rashido or an Echo Chamber. And if they score an Echo Chamber now, it's like it's kind of bad, but also like whatever. Okay, so we can go ahead and Wanton Destruction. We'd probably want to hit the Consulting Visit. It's okay. We'll have 11 credits. If they fire a Rashido, though, it's kind of bad because it replaces it. So we could wait for a turn. So I think we're just going to Dirty Laundry into HQ and see what they got. And then just crank out the Liberated, I think. I just spotted in the JNet. Forgot Andre. Sorry. 15 minutes. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's interesting. So that means they might be on a different agenda suite, right? But this also means that they're probably on exchange of information. So if they get us with a single tag with something like SIU or a fly on the wall, we're in a really, really bad spot. Now, if we install this, we're down 4 and we click. Sorry, we're down 6 and we click it. So we spend 3 clicks. So we're down 6, we gain 8. So 3 clicks for 2 credits. Yeah, it's good enough. Oh, we have one of these. Okay, we'll keep drawing. I feel like 16 is good. Yeah, we'll Wanton after they fire Rashido, hopefully. Yeah, because if we Wanton flush their hand and then they draw into Hardening News, it's a problem. But here they're going to have the ice for HQ for sure. They're definitely going to have HQ ice here. It's always my strat against HHN. Guess I'll just sit back and do nothing. But that's like totally right. Like if you don't have money, sit back and do nothing is okay. Oh, against Apocalypse, it looks like they're going all in on R&D for now. And if they don't jam on the remote, like that oh, okay, never mind. They'll reconsider. The Wanton definitely is going to do a lot of work in this matchup, and we have 3 of them. And I don't think this does too much, right? Like we pay 2, they play 3. I don't think they're going to build another server. They don't really have a reason to. That's cool. All right, casting call. On a Beal, that's fine, right? If they score that, it's 2 points. We can Wanton their hand. If we take that, it's 2 tags on top of a product placement and a single ice. So that's, again, 6 credits. We don't have Imp. Imp Axis is his agenda. No, so you can't even imp casting call, can you? I really don't think we need a Wanton here. I don't know. It's actually more likely than ever they have multiple agendas, considering Rashida and they're not on the 3-point suite. Like they're on something else. Wanton plus Swift are great. Yeah, Wanton plus Swift is really great. We're gonna spend our whole turn here. Feels bad because we're trading it for a 2-pointer. We're hoping we hit a consulting visit. Discard down to 4 cards. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, people were exploring pretty hard with Swift when it came out in these sort of Wanton decks. Surely they slow roll? I think they could. I think they could get away with it. But like we have their 15 minutes and I don't think they're on Echo Chamber, so I don't know if they need to. Do we have breakers to go for the Stargate? No, we only have 2 MK Ultras. And our card draw just ran out. But I think we can poke. Like it's probably, it's probably a Data Raven, right? I'll run Archives. Let's not Omar, let's just run Archives. There you go, it's that old Turnpike. We don't want to do that big old trace, so we're gonna install and break. And we'll lose a credit. So that was a lot of money. So what do we hit? We hit a hard-hitting news, a preemptive, that's sick. We hit a boom. Wow, that's not coming back. And the consulting visit's still in hand, which is obviously an issue. Okay. Well, now there's only one more hard-hitting news. They can consult it, though, but then they don't have their kill. So exchange of information is a real problem. But actually, if we have this 1-pointer, so exchange is not that bad. There's the Enigma. That's okay. So we have one more click. We run HQ. We know 1 and 3. I think we need draw into pressure. That's good. We could have an Eater for this. Or we could obviously have the Black Orchestra. Apoc Swift is pretty nice. It's a good way around border control. Yeah, it's not bad for sure. You need to play a run event though. So you need to keep a run event for that. All right, so that's Apoc threat. That's for product placement, right? Likely, which actually we don't give a shit. Product placement is not going to be accessed with Stargate. Because Stargate doesn't actually access cards. So we know half their hand is Consulting Visit. So it looks like the game is in R&D right now because they don't have a lot of aggressive draw. So we're just going to try and keep setting up. Yeah, that's good enough. We're low on credits, but we have drip and we have a way to click for 4. All gravy, nice to watch them Netrunner late night. Hey, oh, Archive Memory is coming back for a preemptive action. So that's a really slow tempo play. It's going to actually put their boom back into their deck likely. So we have to respect the Consulting Visit. But that's a really powerful card for 2 influence. And if they kept that in hand, they can always threaten a hard-hitting news. So it looks like they're not going to be able to threaten a hard-hitting news unless it is from a consult. Econ Warfare, boom, and another Archive Memories. Oh, what? Oh, because they preemptive. Yeah, right. All right. So we know their hand's consulting. Jessica says, I really don't like not being able to turn off the new arts. They're not easy for me to see. Can you actually not turn them off? Huh. Okay. Didn't know that. Well, they're not doing anything unless this is like a calibration testing and they could fast advance out something they draw off the top. We're going to need a lot of money. We are not favored right now. And this is why I don't understand the Hijack Router so much. Like, it's a good tech card. It's unique, though. But they ice up Archive. So, like, out of any ID, this is the hardest one to play this in. Right? Double ice R&D. Okay. At least we got our clickless economy here. Earthrise is unique. Can't really play it. I can't read the card, but I can recognize the cards. Yeah, well, you can't read any card. But yeah, it's all about, like, the color recognition on this one. Stacking Hijack Routers would be gross. Oh, man, it would be good. Unfortunately. We could wipe their hand. Actually, it's not that bad, right? Like, we get rid of a Consulting Visit, and we get rid of what the other card is. We have nothing better to do this turn. Why not? Wanton for 2. Okay. We don't need this. Amped Up is not bad if we have to clear a bunch of tags. It's worth keeping. I don't see us needing a Labor Rights anytime soon. And the Earthrise actually matters next turn. We'll probably draw a Career Fair too. I think we have 3 more in the list. Oh, 2 more. Oh, they played Economic Warfare, Spiteful. And now anything they top deck has to go somewhere. So like running HQ here has pretty good value. We can figure out exactly what this is. Let's get the last Dirty Laundry. No, we have an Eater though. That's nice. The thing is like this could be an IP block. Hard-hitting news. Oh, fuck. So we can't spend too much money. Economic Warfare is probably 2 more in the list. They played 1. So if we play this, we have to click for credit, and then we just have to keep our money up, which is a bummer. But at least we can like maybe afford an Earthrise once a turn. Right, and we have to run this. We have to run this. Yeah, we have to just eat the hard-hitting news. I don't think we got anything here. Let's look an Apocalypse this turn, which we actually might be able to. Hit a product placement. One of these is a Data Raven. And that's a problem. The thing is they don't have a consulting visit anymore, so they actually have to top deck their boom. I think we can go for the Apocalypse and just take the hard-hitting news and hope. Let's run HQ. There's a small chance that this is a Chrysium. Sorry, run R&D. There's a small chance this is a Chrysium grid as a Wayland card to help with their consulting visit, as opposed to the product placement we've seen in some other lists. Yeah, I think we have to go for the APOC here. Run Archives first. Ooh, Gutenberg. That's a lot of credits. I think we just float the tag. So we have to worry about IP block, but that's fine. We're gonna tag me. I don't see a Rebirth YOLO thing. No, this is the deck list of the week. It is a straight up Omar list. Why don't I just run Archives and Omar? That's a good question. This makes them spend more money. I totally forgot we were Omar. Yeah. No, we definitely could have run Archives. We definitely should run Archives first to see if it's cheaper than this. We're gonna float tags now though. So Data Raven doesn't matter, which is maybe they'll still res it. And we need to break both subroutines because we need all our clicks. And here we don't access cards, so we don't actually hit the product placement. It looks like it isn't a Chrysium, so we're in the clear. Oh, this is fine. So do we go full tag me? I think we might. So it's either 2 credits to remove the tag here, or 1 credit. Do we go tag me? Yeah, I think so. No, I think we can actually break it. And then the hard-hitting news us, like they changed the math a bit. We flip the cards, but we don't access them because we broke ice. They threw out the consulting visit and so we knew that we hit those cards. All right, we'll clean the board up. Top deck the boom. Yeah, I think we need to destroy the boom. What was this? A daily cast with 2 credits? That's acceptable. So if they hard-hitting news us here, they have to spend a lot of money. So I'm fine with this. The HHNU anyways, yeah, but that's totally fine. They spent a lot of money on it. Right? So this is okay. Now we have the Stargate, so we just put the Stargate down and we wipe anything. So we don't know the 1 card in hand. We don't know what this is. Cool thing is that Degree Mill is a lot easier, but I don't think they're on it. So we'll just make sure that they can't draw ice. We'll check HQ. Ice Wall. We want to trash the Ice Wall. Or we can just trash the Beal, obviously. And Economic Warfare doesn't do anything right now. That's interesting, actually. I think we trash the Ice Wall. This is an NGO front. That's fine. If we click over credit, we'll lose it to Economic Warfare, so we'll just run Archives and see what's in here. We could probably actually draw. Drawing is good too. We have 1 more Wanton. The Router actually matters at this point. The Router's kind of cool here. So, oh wow, it's double price hack. So it's not the list we think. There was a price hack on Archives. Oh no, sorry, in R&D. So they're not on preemptive action. I like the price hacks a lot better than sorry, not preemptive action, but the one where you sell product placement. I think price hack is a way better card. Okay, so they drew an Economic Warfare. There's a Beal on top. What's in hand? We didn't check, did we? We didn't check the card in hand, did we? No, we should have. We'd have full information. There's a Beal on top of R&D. There's an Economic Warfare, which they can't, well, they could play. It just doesn't do anything because it says 4 credits if able. So losing 3 credits Doesn't do anything, right? Now the issue is like Bologna isn't a thing we can do. So yeah, that's a problem. We also have access to only, well, 2 breakers. Oh, all our breakers actually. We just don't have the money. This is where Stargate is good too, but Stargate's always good. Archive memories. Oh, they had the archive memories in hand. That's so bad. What are they gonna archive memories for here? They could do another hard hitting. They probably just archived for consulting, right? And then we lose the next turn. High versus low EV? I don't know what that means. You just pull the consulting and we lose. We can clear the tags and we just have to hit the boom. We have to Stargate the boom. It's unlikely. What else could they archive memories for? I can't believe they have an archive memories. That's such a bummer. They could do ice, but like, why? Maybe you have imp. They don't know that. Yeah, they pulled a consulting visit. Okay, so let's talk about our plays here. They have the Beal in hand. They have the consulting visit in hand. We can't trash the consulting visit. We have 1 click to draw into the wanton. If we hit the wanton, we're good. Now it is 1 wanton and 19 cards. I think no matter what, we start by emptying up. Cool. Okay, let's go. Can't they boom now? Yeah, they can boom now. Economic warfare, data raven, border control. That's garbage. So we're just gonna lose here. Okay, to border control, that's impressive. We'll draw for wanton. No. Wait. Oh, we can do this. We can buy ourselves a turn. Let's see if this works. We can make them lose 3 credits. Consulting takes 2 clicks, so with boom, it's 6 credits in a whole turn. Oh, I wanted to do this. I wanted to router. I don't know if we can do that. I assumed we could. You can't? We have to just make a run on archives, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so that buys us 1 turn, so we have to draw into a wanton. I've had worse, doesn't really do anything here. Because we have to do credit I've had worse. It's like spending 3 clicks to draw 3. Now we need a credit anyways to wanton, so they just do credit here. Yeah, it's a replacement, right? Okay, skip on. We talked about that earlier and we thought they both had the same trigger because this isn't a replacement. No, it is actually. They shuffled 15 minutes. That's a mistake. Why would you shuffle 15 minutes? Now it shuffles the top of the R&D so that we have a chance of hitting the boom. You shouldn't do that. All right. Okay, so no. Oh no! We don't have enough time. GG. Yeah, totally. Yeah. All right, so we're short on this. Obviously, we need clicks on top of it. If we had 1 credit, if we had 1 more click, we could have had a credit here and gone for a 1 in 5. So, you know, that's it. Good game. Yeah, it's a bummer. We just don't have the economy here. Like, it's obviously really rude. We can't deal with the hard-hitting news that early, but our economy is just like liberated counts. It's a good economy. It seems like standard anarch economy, but we just can't can't get through the hard-hitting news. We definitely didn't need Apocalypse there. Like we could have either waited for them to ice up. Wow, they only had 10 cards left. Hey, thanks for the game. But yeah, the shuffle there is wrong. If we hit the boom, we definitely would have had a game there because I don't think they have any other punishment. Man, we've been playing against the sync deck like so much over the last couple of weeks. Would 0 be better than ERH? What's ERH? But yeah, I'm surprised 0 isn't in this deck. I don't think the hijack router is that good. It's definitely very good against assets. I think that's on Earthrise. Oh, Earthrise Hotel. Probably. I think you could do both of them. Like the fact that we have career fair makes it a lot better. But yeah, you need a lot of card draw, and like 0 is insane. Like 0 is so strong. And on top of I've had worse, obviously that's in your deck. Like it's just so good. Your heat breakers. There's so many good reasons to run 0. And I think there's a chance that some people don't want to do it. on the basis that you know, that you could hit your apocalypses, but you got 3 apocalypses, 2 labor rates. Like, I'm not worried about it. Javi wasn't a fan of Zero and probably Javi wasn't a fan of Zero when he made this. We've since converted him. Okay, good to hear. Hedging against assets is probably good in this deck, though. Your economy can't really handle asset spam. But at the end of the day, who cares about assets? You're an apocalypse deck, right? Like, who the fuck cares? Sorry, that was way ruder than it needed to be. But like, I don't understand. Like, if they install 20 assets, it's fine. You apocalypse them, right? Like, who cares? It's all about Zero now for Javi. That's awesome. Right, like the best thing you could do is get a lot of money quickly. Like, this is the sort of deck that could be running Peace in Our Time, right? Like, all you want to do is just play assets. Also, with Kakugo and other constant net pings gone. Yeah, that's true. iFedWorse is a bit worse with that. But now they spend 20 credits installing assets and you just trash them all anyways. The thing is, like, it doesn't matter about their economy. If an asset spam deck has 15 of their assets trashed and like 4 of their 10 ice trashed, they're going to lose the game. It doesn't matter if they have 0 credits or infinite credits. It shouldn't matter, at least. He won his first ever tournament with this. I don't understand all the decisions, but I love him. Yo, that's awesome. Lists and such. Yo, Brent, how's it going? What do you mean lists and such? That's really cool. We'll try another one. We did land an apocalypse, which is good. Yeah. Why is Aki's like response there? It seems so rude. Thoughts on moving forward. It's also wild. Like, obviously this list got a lot worse without DDoS. But like you saw in any of those games, Omar's ability didn't matter. We played 2 games and one of them lasted 1 turn. Okay, we'll do another one. I'm not convinced Omar's ability matters that much. And we goofed and we didn't use it. Brent says my comment was too long and it didn't show the first half. Really? Can you copy paste it? That's super strange. It has no console, which makes Stargate a big awkward as well. Yeah, if you build your whole, like if you put all your breakers down in Stargate, I could see that being awkward, but I think a lot of times you don't plan on, right? Because of Apocalypse. But yeah, even putting a console in the deck, I think like a lot of times a single like turntable can be game winning. I said I'm a returning player. It's been a few years. Recommendations were to come back and see new deck lists and such. Yo, actually, it's if you want to check out alwaysberunning.net. It's a website that people generally talk about tournaments and post deck lists and stuff like that and upcoming tournaments. We had Worlds that was about like a month ago now. So if you go to results and you search into Worlds, a lot of people will post their lists for Worlds. So that's like a really good place to go through stuff. Worlds had a pretty diverse meta and there was a lot of really cool stuff to see. I don't know how deep you have to go for Worlds. Oh, actually not that deep. Nisei World Champions. So not everyone has posted their deck lists. It looks like there's only 73. That's a nice place to go. And all these deck lists are going to link to Netrunner DB, which is a really nice place to look for deck lists. You go to the deck list tab and you can search by a certain identity you like. You can look at a certain time and date. Most of these deck lists are going to be for standard format, which is like what people play competitive Netrunner in. And it's largely just most of the newer cards and with a list of banned cards, which you can find on nisei.net. But those are definitely the 2 places to go. Netrunner DB is where people go for deck lists, and Always Be Running is where people generally link their deck lists to tournament responses. Netrunner DB is awesome. You can search by card you want to build around and see how it used to other decks. Exactly. Yeah, you can also search to some extent with collections to be like, I want to see a deck that uses cards up to this collection. Maybe you have some of the earlier cards. If you want to see what cards are legal, go to Organized Play and Supported Formats, and I'll tell you that. Sir Loathing says, let's have a second Worlds. Let's. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, so this is the ban list called 2009, which is what's legal. And there's just a bunch of banned cards. You just can't play them. Nothing else to it. That being said, you can play with any cards you want. It's just on jinteki.net. The majority of people are playing this format. But if you make a lobby and call it like Eternal or any of the formats, or like new player playing core set only, you'll find people. Brent says, awesome, thanks so much. Also, is most tournament play now online based, or are places still hosting in-person tournaments? Well, 2020 is a year. So like where I live, you can't have an in-person tournament. We largely couldn't have it since February and March. I know some places in Europe, maybe probably New Zealand, you can have tournaments. You totally can because you don't have the safety protocols. If that wasn't the case, people would be having in-person tournaments all the time. Like Nisei has Organized Play with physical card support. Go to your store, go to a place and play it. But because of the year it is, not a lot's happening in person. But it would be if it wasn't this year. So yes and no. 2020 is a year and tomorrow's Friday the 13th in 2020. Oh, there's nothing wrong with Friday the 13th. Europe has gone backwards fast. Oh my God, I know. Slovenia. So my family is from Slovenia. They immigrated from the 80s and we have all our family back there. Slovenia is getting as many cases a day as Canada is in a day. It is so fucking bad. They have like population 2 million. We got like what, 36? Oh guys, what the fuck's happening? I'm sorry, Europe, it's bad. It's really bad here too though. Like everyone's regressing, barring like New Zealand. Yeah, sorry y'all. Brought the stream down. Why can't I make a new game? We want to do one more with this. Hides an American. Yeah. America's just killing it out there. I should be laughing. It's really bad. Everyone said it would get worse, and it is. But yeah, what can I say? Here in Australia, they just reopened water parks. Feel a little crazy. Yeah, John. Yeah, Australia is also doing pretty well, but they had like really strict quarantines. The sort of quarantines that like I think the majority of people where I live and maybe in the States would be really upset and not support if that happened. They'd be like, no, my freedoms and stuff like that. Which, you know, this is my opinion. I think you should do the thing that makes this thing go away at all costs. But I still have a job, so maybe I'm in a different spot. Chicago's now got a stay-at-home advisory, which is one step above a full lockdown. Yeah, so I don't know like what it's going to take in America for full lockdowns to be put into place and then people to respect it. But like I think it's coming because the numbers are absolutely absurd. And there's no denying that. They immigrated all the way from the 80s. Must have been a long trip. Boy, are my arms tired. Oh, man. The UK is about 1.7 times Canada's population, about 8 times the cases. Yeah. Oh. Okay, RP. We've learned. Hey. Thanks. All right, cool. Opening hand, pretty okay. The hijack router in turn 1 against RP is sick. Hopefully we don't get side sent on. We don't have an iPad worse to bail us out. Put down the router? Yo, we're gonna get there so fast. Oh, excuse me. Genshin, yo, what up? What are we rocking tonight? I think I'm gonna build some Atom. I'm still trying to find an excuse to play Street Magic, and I feel like Adam kind of has that if you want to do an always be running. That's the hand. Yo, this is a hand. You're totally right. This is such a hand. This is what a hand looks like. Fuck. Let's go. Archives. Yeah. Wait. No, this is fine. Don't hit a snare here. Daily business show? Yeah, fuck that. All right, so every server that's going to cost them a credit to build. That's really hard. Let's play Max 99. I really wanted to do that too. Sanjay posted his list. His like huge max list at Worlds had Street Magic in it, which is nuts. But shout out to Sanjay. That's really cool. So those are things I want to do. I really want to spend like a whole stream just playing Max 99 because it's so fun. Yeah, Big Max is like so much fun. And I think it got a lot better. Like Faust is back. Can't be upset about that. Okay, so now what we have to do for the board state is just stabilize. We can check things pretty often. We want to get like drip econ going. They res the Sundew. That's such a bad play. I think that was harsh. You need to ice your Sundews because right now you are trading no money for 2 clicks for us. And if you ice this up, you're gonna get 2 credits a turn. They paid a credit for this privilege. It's stopping us from building our board state, but they need money if they're going to stabilize against this. Oh, well, no, of course we're not going to do that. Oh, I should have Omar'd there. Wait, do you mind if I Omar? Now, we could die to snare. Kill it with fire. Yeah, you 100% kill this thing. 2 credits a turn. If they can ice that, it's such a big deal because it's hard for you to find your breakers, pay for your breakers, break ice, and then trash this. So that's such a big deal. I'm going to go R&D. I don't know. I'm like kind of scared to hit snare here and die. We probably should have drawn once here. We definitely should have drawn once here. It's a bioethics. Okay. Should have planned my turn out a bit better. How much do we need for this? 3 credits. Okay. Reverse turtleback. Yeah, right? Hijack Router seems so bad for asset heavy corps. It's not even a pad tap type thing where they can trash it. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of rough. Like, I don't know. I like right now the only scary thing is Rashida because they're on 1 credits. Oh, 1 credits. They're on 1 credit. Rashida's pretty good for them. At 1 credit, there's not a lot of threat here. Like, it could be Mamba Temple into something. But I think we have to take a turn and set back here. Like, what could they do? Mamba Temple, Rashida, and then they res, like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. We just need to stabilize a bit. This is where, like, Hoshiko obviously is really good. Again, like, our Omar ability doesn't matter. It's not relevant. What's a snare at 1 credit? Yeah, here they're good. So that's Rashida. That's the worst case scenario by far. Now, the issue is that, like, we're not getting tempo by playing the game, right? Like, we're Omar. We're trading for pressure, not tempo. If we were Hoshiko, every time we do this, we'd get a credit, right? Like, we'd get a card and a credit if we run archives and trash something. And that's such a big deal when we're trying to keep the board down. And this is the thing, is like, I don't know what to keep the board down or not. Like, should we be keeping the board down? Now, this threatens, server 5 threatens to be a viral weaponization. So we want to threaten them, and we want to force a res here. We're going to draw once. In theory, we could still die to Saisentan. So I'm going to draw once more. Then we'll run HQ and we'll check server 5 because it's a chance to be an agenda. It's an engram flush. Okay, that's fine. That fires. You can poke HQ and RD each turn. Yeah, but we don't really want to. Like, it's cute. Named resource? Okay, so we lose our Earthrise. That's fine. I do see our whole hand, though. It's not nothing. No, you're right. It's not nothing, but it's not how we win this game. Like, they're going to single ice most servers anyways. Political dealings. Okay, so that means that this is probably like the political dealings deck. So they could either have 3 of these. They're not at any point where they can resist, let alone trash something. So we'll steal viral weaponization here. Or it's a Project Yagi-Uda. That's good enough. So they could be on a Flower Sermon, which is incredibly strong. But again, now, like, they have to click for 3 credits, install a card. They don't have an economy to res anything. We actually have to watch out. Like, we could have died to Cortex Lock there, right? Sees political dealings, so this means it could be a political dealings deck. But what I mean about that, Itaki, is that there's some kill decks that will run a single political dealings, and then there's some decks that run 3 political dealings of Flower Sermon. So there's 2 camps, right? Like Flower Sermon, political dealings, 3 of, and with, like, you know, team sponsorship, stuff like that, which probably is in this deck anyways because of Jeeves. Or the other ones that are like viral weaponization, bioethics, and like a single dealings, you know. It's a mean one. Yeah, there you go. What are you thinking for the Atom deck? I want to try just Atom. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Saisentan's an issue with this hand. We'll draw once. I did want to play Street Magic. So Crick here in Archives is annoying. We'll just force some reses. I always forget what Flower Sermon does. It lets you draw on the runner's turn. Basically, it lets you draw so that you can always hit it. Oh, that's fine. So that you can always install a thing. We lost the Eater, okay. Now they can still res Crick here, but we'll check out server 6. We probably trash the Jeeves too. Prana Condenser. Okay, it makes me think it's a damage deck. That's an econ card, you can't have that. Do we trash the Jeeves? We literally cannot afford it. I'm gonna actually install the Daily Cast so we have some drip economy coming in. A really fun Adam Faust deck if you're open to anything. Ooh, interesting. You can put snares on things on top of R&D, which makes single access useless. Yeah, it can do that too. Like it's really good at protecting R&D, but it also lets you just draw. And whenever you draw political dealings, lets you install the card so you can safely score at 4 2s with Jeeves on the table. All right. So how close are we to apocalypsing? Don't have apocalypse, don't have the money, trash their Eater. Low. It's low, but they're going to be struggling to do anything economically unless they can get a Mamba to stick or a Maryland to stick. Okay, we have to take a turn off here. Ivedorus is sick. In theory, if we hit the envelope, there's a chance of it firing. Otherwise, though, it doesn't fire up Engram Flush because it doesn't do damage. I guess we can draw and just take 8. And we can never really afford to break Engram Flush. Your metamate loves Prana? I don't get it. Street Magic, Turning Wheel, Jackson Clare seems like a decent starting point. Oh, actually, really, I didn't think of Jackson Clare. That's cool. I was like, I want to do a Street Magic with Chisel, but I think you have to do that in Anarch. Okay, so we have to check server 8. I'm gonna face plant into envelope and hope we hit the Ivedorus. If we hit the Black Orchestra, we're okay. If we hit the Labor Rates, we're okay. Or not Labor Rates, amped up. If we hit Stargate, we're upset. And I don't want to Omar because I don't want to hit a Crick. Like, I don't want the accesses. Fuck. Shit. All right, that stuff happens. There's a political dealings. One is server 7. Another Jeeves probably. Team sponsorship. That was the other option, I guess. I don't think they're scoring anytime soon. I think we're better off trashing Jeeves because they're using it every turn, so it's kind of like a pad campaign. But like we're just floundering for board control. Like if we had Rizekis here, it'd be so good. Kill Jeeves? Yeah, I think so. We do take Jeeves down. Merging Crivity, install SecNex for free. You got a stew going. Oh wow, they overinstalled like with that little money. I don't know why you overinstall the envelope. I think you can pay one more. Like, you might as well have 2 ice. I don't know if 1 credit matters unless this is like a 5 credit res. So if they had a team sponsorship fire, it's pretty bad for us. We could just take a turn off and liberated. Let's draw for a career fairy. Oh fuck, we're so good at this. How does he do it? How does he do it? This is Rashida, we're in a bad spot. Wowza. Well, that's actually the thing. Like we do that so often where we call the card that we want, but that's the idea is more not about like getting lucky. It's about planning your turn, right? Like here we could just install the liberated, but in theory we want to draw through a deck, and if we draw a career fair, we look sick, right? Like that's kind of the idea. It's like a lot of times it's like we can make a run here, but I'm gonna draw first. We can get a dirty laundry, and a lot of times it works out. Okay, they paid so much for this hijack router. It is disgusting. Okay, we'll draw once. We'll hit R&D and we'll check 2 of these. Oracle Andre. I really hope that the ShadowNet people do the Oracle tournament because I want in. It's an Nike. That's fine. There's a big chance it hits. I bet worse. We can even draw on this and we'll get an access if we want. They can't fire snare. We'll get an access. When I played against you last week, I watched the VOD and you essentially called my every move. I think we have to trash things. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Could we hit the iPad Warrior? Sick. Wanton's good, I guess. They have probably multiple agendas in hand. We don't want to trash the DBS right now. We'll take 11. We also could take down this Mumba Temple, which matters when they don't have a lot of money, but they can't score an agenda here. It's a prana condenser. That probably means there's a bioethics here in server 10. Oh, House of Knives. Ooh, even better. So we want to find an Earthrise so that we have some way to get board state. And they should have Mumba Temple and res the team sponsorship. They missed a free credit of value there. We are ripping them apart. Yeah, but it's going to slip away at some point, right? Like we have to capitalize on HQ pressure soon, and we're not. I'm still worried about a crick. Oh, wow, that's really good. That buys us a whole turn. That's sick. And we can keep hitting into this. Let's just draw into a Liberated or something, or Earthrise. Let's do one more. Yeah, there you go. That's all we want. We want a bit of economy and then free card draw. And we'll use that card draw to throw ourselves into Engram Flushes, whatever. Get Orchestra down and start Stargating. We can't really afford to. We won't break this with Orchestra. It's probably too much. I think we just Stargate and let this fire. And again, Omar's ability, I don't know, we should be setting up for the Apocalypse, if anything, more than we should be setting up for the Stargate. Oh man, this is so rough for them. That could be the DBS. We have a lot of cards in hand, so Kamainu is rough. Now I think they always call it event on Engram Flush, so that's the issue. Is we have to Omar through. Let's go for the Apocalypse. No, we have way too much stuff installed here. We want another router in hand before we Apocalypse. Let's Omar. Let's see if they have a crick. Because we want to check the table here. Another Engram will be rough. We'll lose an Apocalypse. No further action. Wow. We'll take HQ. There's an agenda in there. It's a Mumba Temple. We don't need to trash that. It costs them 1 credit to install it. We'll check server 12. And in theory, we check server 12. We hit the Liberated. Maybe we'll check server 12 to server 9 and we'll Liberate and we'll throw out some cards. It's a Mumba. Wow. Okay. They should res a sponsorship here. They're not. That is a straight misplay. Yeah, we could have APOC there, maybe. We need to install a Black Orchestra. It's now in the bin, but it's pretty expensive to get through Engram Flush, right? Engram Flush, right? It's 9 credits. Remember to trash a router on APOC? I would have forgot, actually. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely would have forgot that. So you can trash this on an HQ run to make them lose 3, which is primo spicy. And you don't forfeit the access for what it's worth. All right, now they're jamming for an agenda. That's probably why they wanted to keep their credits up. I feel okay about this. And that is a temple, which means they can res something up to 6 credits, and there's no real good Jinteki card at 6 credits. I've had worse in hand, makes us feel pretty confident. They have 3 cards in hand. That could be the Memba Temple. Let's go for it. All right, now Omar is doing some work. If they res here, they might not be able to res here, which is nice. Could go HQ again. DBS. Oh, we knew that one as well. Let's see who this is. Let's see. Saisentan, my old friend. That's fine. They have no money now. They literally can't do anything. This probably has to be Rashida here. They're going to call events, so we might lose the Apocalypse, but it'd be really good if they fired it. I don't think there's any way we die with an I've had worse. So what did they hit? Oh, fuck. They hit an I've had worse. Okay, so they hit Wanton. They hit I've had worse. So they drew into a Liberate, which they hit. Okay, but we still have a lot of cards. So Yagi Uda, we're on game point. We'll take down... We'll check the temple. Oh, it's sponsorship. Weird. Okay. Well, now Omar will probably win us the game. Then we know 2 of the cards in HQ. We can probably just start looking for the top of R&D. And they could have, as long as we access with 4 cards, like they could be on Obokata. Oh, wow. We actually could Apocalypse this turn. Yeah, fucking YOLO. Let's go. Yeah, let's Apocalypse them. Wait, can we? It's 6-9. Yeah, we can Apocalypse them. If they don't res here, we'll hijack Router. Don't forget to pop servers on your way into archives. Yeah, we will. It'll do work. We can also just hijack Router them here. We don't need Apocalypse them, but I feel like we should. Oh, Obokata, we win. Okay. That was in there for a while. We could have gone for the APOC there. Yeah, that Router's rough. That's the thing though, like, it actually would have been hard for us to keep the board down and get our Apocalypse off. So I feel like you can diverge, right? Like, I feel like you can decide one of these over the other. You could decide like, I'm going to let the board go and then we're going to Apocalypse. Now this deck can go pretty fast if you don't like hold it down. Like it can make money off Prana Condenser, which again, I don't understand how that works. Like it just seems a bit convoluted that you're playing 2 cards to get 3 credits sometimes. And I guess this has a threat on it. In theory, you have to deal with it. Yeah, and then you can Apocalypse them. Hey, cheers. But yeah, Black Orchestra against Aki is reasonable. 3 credits to break net damage and get some extra card draw. Yeah, it's not bad. It's really not bad. Engram Flush though, like seems a bit powerful. 2-5, 2 subroutines. It's not the amount of subroutines that matters, but you have to pay like 9 to get through this on the first time. But that's where Omar mattered. Like in theory, we Omar, make him lose 3, then we Omar into HQ, and then we just run through this for free if we want to risk the damage, which we shouldn't. We shouldn't. So we pay 9 and we Apocalypse them. Building Bronic counters means you need to trash it before it kills you. Yeah, in theory, but like how long does that take? Do they ice it up? Like it just seems like it's asking for so much. When they, in theory, could be icing up the cards that cause them to win, or like just icing up a Sundew. I think not icing Sundew is like such a big difference in this matchup. Like if they put the envelope on the Sundew, they would have enough money to deal with our Router, right? Like how long would it take for us to contest an envelope Sundew? Literally forever. I don't think you should ever install this card naked unless you have infinite money and you don't need it. Classic waiting on the APOC turn. Yeah, totally. I have killed with Prana, but it does rely on the runner messing up to get themselves in a hole. Yeah, you can build these like weird states, right? Like where they take a bunch of damage because they don't expect the bioethics and then you finish them with the Prana. But like, it seems unlikely. And yeah, at that point, they're probably not contesting the board state to such a big spot that you can probably win off of like political dealings and other stuff. You think envelope over Sundew? Totally. Oh, I guess you can hear me. You need to protect Sundew. And if you watch the VOD, like I was maybe a bit brusque about it, but like, icing up Sundew is such a big deal because it's the only card in your deck that will give you 2 credits a turn, and 2 credits a turn is incredible. It's so strong, right? Like I think you totally ice it up. Because otherwise, like, what happened? You installed the Sundew, you paid 1 credit for that privilege, you res for 2, you got your 2 back, and I spent 2 clicks trashing it. And one of those clicks was an Omar run in theory, so like it wasn't even bad for us. But if you protect this, like at this point, if you jammed anything behind an ice that actually ended the run, like the envelope is so good. And I understand that the envelope looks really cute on central servers because it has punishment, but like how would I ever got through this envelope? I have to find a paperclip. Don't have one yet. I have to install it, cost 4. I have to break this, cost 2. I have to trash this undo, costs 2. So you're asking for me to do so much before I can possibly contest the envelope. And sure, some lists have boomerang. Some lists, you can't eater through this. So I probably have to go for the apocalypse, but it just buys you so much time of getting like literally free money. Free real estate, TM, right? Like I don't have a paperclip still. This deck only has two paperclips and they're in the bottom 13. Oh, I just closed the thing. I saw you typing. Sorry. If you're in chat, we can catch up. I don't think you expect to kill with Prana, but it does force them to run. Sure, but like political dealings forces them to run. Like I feel like there's so many other cards that force them to run that have a much more direct route to victory than like I have to do multiple net damage. They have to not trash this. They have to end their hand. You know, like it's definitely a cool and cute and fun card, but like it's asking for a lot. Yo, jogging, how's it going, man? How you been? I saw 2 of your friends get on Tabletop Simulator at the same time. What's the chance it was Arkham? Okay, let's build an Atom deck, huh? I was 100% thinking APOC first. Cook, are you Banana Man? I see what you mean, icing up centrals. No, a Street Magic deck? No, it will be a Street Magic deck. It will. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, right. Like you do have to respect Apocalypse. That's totally true. But it's really hard with Omar, right? Like whatever's your weakest server, they'll exploit, right? It's like archives run, whatever. But if you get APOC in the early turn, right? Like you don't lose that much. You really don't. And still, like I have to run all 3 central servers. I have to deal with a piece of ice. Again, with Omar, it's a bit different. In theory, against APOC, you want to ice archives to force them to run it. And then I still have to find the Apocalypse and I still have to pay it for 3. And if I'm not wiping a big board, even in the early game, if I Apocalypsed, I would have wiped the router and it probably would be in your favor. But that's only because I didn't have a second router. I like the RP deck. It's interesting. It's like a weird asset spam deck because I feel like, I don't know, it's the one asset spam deck I think in the meta that if you just have strong economy, you probably lose to the runner, right? If the runner has strong economy, right? Like if the runner has 1 bad pub and like a Rizeki, all they do is just like run, click for credit, and then face tank a bunch of ice and fire I've had worse. So that's a bit tricky. Like I love the other ones that have things like I've had worse, hard hitting news, economic warfare, have other traps to deal with it, to punish the asset spam. Because this is the one list where if you trash everything, there's literally no game plan. There's no game plan that RP has if you can trash everything. We're playing Mechs versus Minions campaign. Yo, that is a game that I don't know if you can get, and I don't know if I'd ever play the whole thing, but it's like pretty affordable considering how deluxe of a product it is. But that's kind of like Riot Games. They don't need to make money on their board games, I don't think. It looks really cool. Street Magic plus Tracker? Carlemagne. Tracker is wild though. It's like 2 MU. Yeah, let's do it. That sounds stupid. It's sweet. It looks cool. I'm a big fan of programming games. On that note, I've been playing BattleCon. I talked about it earlier this stream. Yo, BattleCon's kind of cool. BattleCon's really, really interesting. I need to play more of it. We're gonna do some Atom. We'll attack compulsively. TDS mod is sweet. Hell yeah. Okay. Or maybe Gabali or whatever. Yeah, Gabali. Kangamato in theory is cheaper, right? So you can do Kangamato. Robo Rally. Oh man, so that's the issue with Robo Rally. Sorry, we're getting sidetracked, but Robo Rally, from my understanding, the original printing Robo Rally, which is Richard Garfield game back from 1994, that was a sick copy. But since then, Robo Rally's been purchased by Hasbro or Avalon Hill, excuse me. And then the new version of Robo Rally is a bit butt and is nowhere near as charming as the old Robo Rally. So like, yeah, obviously this is not a realistic price, but like people are selling the original edition for 1,500 Canadian dollars. Great. If anyone knows where you can get the original Robo Rally, I'm in. But I've heard that this one is a bit, I think it's a shut up and sit down thing. BattleCon is sweet. You tried Exceed? No, I haven't tried Exceed. I'm not really a fighting game person. Then kind of found BattleCon and been like, this is interesting. But I know there's Exceed. I know there's Yomi. I have a pre-order of Combo Fighter too, but the pre-order is like, I don't think they're ever going to be satisfied, which is a bummer because that game looks cute too. Quanju and Early Bird. Can we do Algernon and John Massenori Swift? Algernon is not worth its card stock, is it? What the fuck? 1,500? Yeah, I know. But like, that's the thing. Like, people look at this. This happens with Netrunner 2 to be like, people are selling it for $1,500. Well, no, they're not, because it's not sold. Survivor bias or whatever. BattleCon is cool. It's a little overwhelming, both in the number of pieces and characters and the crazy art. Yeah. I wish the art, specifically the UI, was a bit better. It kind of, with all due respect, looks like dev art, which is a bit of a bummer. But I feel like there should be easier ways to make that game approachable, because the game gets really cool once you're good at it. It's that sort of thing. Like when you play a fighting game and you don't know what you're doing, kind of button mashing. But once you know what you're doing, you're playing like 3D chess. And we're not there yet because it's hard. Exceed is stripped down. BattleCon plays a bit faster. Same people as BattleCon. Yeah, it's L99, and I know they have licenses, so there's like Street Fighter Exceed and stuff like that. I don't know. I want to play BattleCon to start and play without the styles and just play the bases, so you can understand like the rock paper scissors mechanic of it, and then once you know that, start playing with characters. I think that's probably a good onboarding system. But again, I don't know. I'll try it. L99, I love their Millennium Blades. I own everything Millennium Blades. It's how I found out about L99. Millennium Blades is so cool. It's so cool. That's the best way for sure. Okay, good to hear actually. Because I was thinking about that and I thought like maybe it's unbalanced, but it seems pretty balanced. Millennium Blades is like so special. I like that L99 makes these experiences that are like ridiculous. And nothing else is really like it. Is Millennium Blades a deck building simulator? Yo, Honey Tea, how's it going? Yes, it's a collectible card game simulator. Okay, sorry, we're gonna divert one more time, but like, I don't know. I'm just so happy about this sort of stuff. Millennium Blades is a CCG simulator. Oh, the money in this game, yeah, Philip is totally right. It's so cool. So it's like L99, so you get that sort of like ridiculous kind of art that they do. And basically when you play this game, it's divided into two halves, and you do them multiple times. So first you build decks, and what that looks like is that there's a market of cards, and you have money to spend as somebody who's like a person playing a collectible card game. But I don't know if we're gonna find an image of the money. Yeah, here we're gonna have the image for the money. So paper money is something people don't like in card games, and Millennium Blades figured out how to do it well. Oh man, it's a really low res image. This is better, but you can't tell from this picture, but what the money is, that's a $1. But what it is, you actually take like 10 $1 bills, and then they give you like a sticker to wrap them together, and that is just worth $1. So instead of like doing that like flimsy Monopoly paper money, you're throwing around wads of cash. So you're dropping like thick stacks of money, and it feels so good, right? Like it's a physical object that you play with, and it specifically matters for this game because when you're doing the CCG deck building part of this game, you're timed. You have 20 minutes. So being able to quickly throw around money on the table is of the utmost importance. And what happens with this game is you have money, and there's this really low res image apparently of a market of cards. But the thing is, you only see the back of the cards, and they have a cost, and then it shows you what set the cards are from. And there's basic sets, and then there's advanced sets. And advanced sets are more expensive, but they generally have, each set has cards that generally work with a theme, that work with one another. The idea is you have 20 minutes to build a deck and build a collection at the same time. I'm not going to explain that part, but the idea is that you're throwing around money, trading with people, buying from the market, buying sealed packs, and they've abstracted it. So when you buy a pack, you flip it over and it has a single card on it. It's meant to be like the one good card you buy in a pack because CCGs are stupid. And then in that 20 minutes, you have to buy cards, build a coherent deck. And then the second part of the tournament is you actually play a tournament structured game with like rules using the deck you've built against all your opponents. And then once that's done, you do the shop again, or you rebuy cards, build better decks, figure out what the meta looks like, and build around the meta that switches every round. And you go back and forth 3 times until you have a winner. So it's this game that tries to show not only like I'm building a dueling card game, but I'm building a dueling card game and kind of showing what the meta looks like, trying to read the meta, deck building, and it does all of it in like real time. Besides the fighting actually you can think and do your turns. It's so cool. Cook says this sounds sick. There's nothing like it. It's so wild. And like understanding what the packs do, and every time you play, you can play with different packs, and there's a lot of packs to get from expansions, and they're all like wacky. They have a sense of humor that I'm okay with. Like, I don't like puns, but you find a lot of like really jokey stuff, a lot of references to like old like Yu-Gi-Oh or like other stuff like that, like Exaltus, the Untenable, the Millennium Motorcycle. Like it's all over the top, like CCG comic cartoon show stuff. It sounds buck wild. It is So cool. It is straight up so ridiculous. And I'm a huge fan of it. It's so good. So Eurogame friendly people who like card games. Is there a Jackson Howard reference? There is a Jackson Howard reference. There's straight up a character called like Haxon Haxon Joward or something. That's meant to be a Jackson Howard reference for sure. You don't like puns? No, I really don't. How long does the game take? It's scalable for the length. I don't know, because the game lengths are pretty fixed because the shopping ground is 20 minutes regardless of how many players there are. A tournament will take a bit longer. It's like an hour and a half. It's not that bad. It is a table beast. Yeah, setting it up is a while. The market's a space. There's an aftermarket space. You have to shuffle the store, which is like this tall. They're thick pieces, but like it's a bit of work, but it's crazy. Waiting for the expansion where you play the role of yourself waiting for the Amazon courier. Rules beast, I don't think it's that bad of a rules beast. Some sets have like, what's it called, their own unique keywords, like in Magic. I don't know, Andre, and all this time I thought you were perfect. Yeah, no, that's fine. Also on top of that, if you want to get really into Euro games, you can play as a character. Each character has their own abilities, so you have like deck building and tournament effects. You can, when you trade cards with people, you have to trade at cost, but if you make a good deal, you can give people friendship tokens to be like, oh, that's a good trade. I understand that I'm underselling you on this trade. Here's a friendship token, which is worth points at the end of the game. There's like promo cards. It's so cool. It's wild. It's complex. I love the idea that you're timed, which can be stressful, but it just makes sure that everyone has to do something quickly, and people who are min-max literally don't have the time to. So you start making nonsense, and then you're in the tournament to be like, I misread the meta, my deck doesn't work, except it's like has a sense of humor about it, which is really good. Do you not like keywords? No, keywords are great. Yeah, it's super unique. Like the one thing I can say about that, there's no other board game that's like this, and I'm so glad Level 99 makes a box like this. But let alone the box is so fucking big. Like there's so much content in this. If you get this in expansion, like you can play co-op, you can play solo against bosses, you can play like tournament modes, you can play teams. Like it's L99 just like, here's our base game. Also, here's like 20 other modes that we've largely 3/4 to half baked. I don't know. I think the co-op is probably fine in this. I haven't tried it yet. I don't know. It's great. 9 out of 10. Fantastic. The timer isn't that bad either, so people don't like timers. It's not that bad. And the game says like, if you need extra time, everyone can agree to add another 10 minutes on it. Who gives a fuck? We just want you to have fun. Bedtime now. Cannot believe you teased me with ABR Street Magic and then you flip the table with the hated puns. We'll get to there. We'll get to there. Jogging says co-op is okay. Ah, that's fine. Normal is better. Normal.is. Anyways, sorry. L99 are like really ridiculous things. I'm glad someone's building them. It actually sounds like a sick solo game. I've been getting into those. Yeah, when solo, you play against bosses, and the bosses are like brutally unfair. And it kind of changes the game where you see what the boss does and you see what they can do. And then so you're trying to build a deck that specifically beats that boss. So it's not like you're trying to build the best deck, but you see like, okay, this boss has a lot of tech where if they flip their monsters or their minions or whatever, it'll kill my minions. So I want protection from that. And so you start trying to look at the market to try and solve a puzzle. And it's not timed if you play co-op. You can take all the time you want. It's cool. Night all. Yo, Jessica, take care. Thanks for dropping by. Get some rest, huh? Anyways, yeah, Millennium Blades, fuck, it slaps. It's so good. Okay, Adam, we're gonna build it. So let's do some stupid stuff. How dumb are we going? Let's go full on Street Magic. Street Magic. Okay, so this is a card. It's 1 influence, cost 0. Low costs include in your deck to play. And it says unbroken subroutines resolve in an order of your choice. Now, this is fascinating. I love Pixel Taxes by L99. I haven't played Pixel Taxes, but I just got into BattleCon, which is where we started here. I'm worried about to get into more of the other stuff because the boxes are real big and there's too much content. Yo, Lamilla, how's it going? Welcome. How you doing? Quick find little engine. Yeah. Street Magic dunks on envelope. So that's what I want to see. Let's look at what happens. Kitchen BattleCon. Oh man, it's like this just came in today. It's a thing. There's so much ice that this will work. You would like Exceed. Jogging, you can't tell me that. I just picked up like all BattleCon. You can't tell me there's another fighting game. It doesn't make any sense, man. If we look at the list of like ice that people are playing to see how good this card is, I'm convinced that this card, which is relatively bad because it doesn't do much, and when you draw it when you're trying to win the game you feel stupid, it actually does a lot against a lot of the meta. So we're gonna just randomly open some meta decks and see how much work I was gonna call it BattleCon that Street Magic can do in the matchup. So let's look at its sync deck. Probably doesn't do too much. Let's look at Sock, his Ag Infusion list. Probably doesn't do too much. It does a lot against Asa, I think. Yeah, it does a lot against Asa. Or Street Fighter box. Yeah, maybe I'll just pick up the Street Fighter simple box. So just a comment about what inspired Faust and Adam. Masonori plus DreamNet plus Find the Truth. Feel for Faust and Earthrise. What happens if you run out of cards though? I guess Buffer Drive helps, huh? Mela says, I just woke up from an impromptu 6-hour nap, saw you were live and decided to pop and say hello. Hey, glad you could pop in. That's really good. I really liked your Arkham stream. I managed to find the Tabsim mod for it, and I'll work on convincing some friends to play with me. Yo, it's really worth the effort. That mod keeps getting updated. I just shared that that stream that we did for Arkham in the Arkham horror community on Reddit like yesterday, and the response was like really nice. So it's super cool to see that. But yeah, it's really good. Good morning from China. Yo, Shay. Good morning. How's Friday looking? Okay, I'm just gonna open some lists to see how good this looks. I'm gonna try and open up a diverse meta. Good enough. Not far enough. Does it have Melty set? What does that mean? Street Fighter is my favorite set. Oh, Shovel Knight set. Ooh. Wait, what Exceed has a Blaze Blue set? Carl Swanky? I don't know what that means. No more classes today, so it's great. Thanks. Oh, hey, cheers. End of season, or how does it work? Like, is it over? Like the school season, school semester? Semester is the word I'm looking for. If you run out of cards, you start playing with normal breakers. Yo, make a name. Do you have a deck list though? I'd love to see that. Okay. So we gotta rein this in. We're talking about Street Magic, so we can choose the order of subroutines that we let resolve. And the idea was that there's a fair bit of ice where that actually is favorable for you. We're looking at Enigma. Joke's on you, Enigma. You never do anything besides end the run. IP block, in theory, it is actually matters because you can do the trace after the tag, which means that firstly, you'll never be surprised by it. It will never surprisingly end the run, but it never really favors the corp that well to boost into the trace. What else matters? Data Raven, Gutenberg, Thoth? No, not really. Okay, that's cool. What else does this matter against? Border control? Yeah, it matters. It technically does matter because if you face check into this, at least you end the run before you hit the credit. And that's kind of a big deal with this deck, is that you want to have reasons to face check and not go through the ice, which is kind of difficult. So for that, we want things like the turning wheel. For that, we want things like maybe Jack Sinclair. Originally, I wanted things like Chisel, which allow you to interact with ice and then just get counters on the ice so that you kill it with the Chisel. Which I don't think we can afford that. It's like 5 influence. But what else is good? Fairchild 3, it's actually kind of interesting because you let the brain damage or end the run subroutine happen first. So if they're looking to end the run, that actually makes the rest of their ice pretty bad. So they might be more inclined to hit you with the brain damage, and then at least you get through the ice. So I kind of think either way, you're like okay with this, because if they end the run, it's just an end the run. But if they do a brain damage, you're going through the ice at least. It's still pretty bad. Macrophage, in theory, this in the reverse order I think is a bit better, because a lot of times on the trace 4 they'll get credits, and then they can use that credits in the trace 1. So this in theory does matter. Slot machine, no. Thimble rig, no. Anansi, actually Anansi, the subroutines do in theory matter, because the draw 1 card, that's not ordered. So in theory, flipping the order of these, it's like a bit good. It's not amazing. Now, a lot of the ones that do get better are a lot of the stuff in the Asa group decks are a lot better like this. Drafter, in theory, in the reverse order is a bit better. Not really. Gatekeeper is a lot better. I thought we were going to see Hagen in this list. Hagen in the other order is a lot better. And that's largely it. There you go. You got the Hagen, the Gatekeeper, and the Fairchild 3. What else we got? Oh, this is such a big difference, right? Like you hit the end of the run first on Chiashi. Obviously, that's huge. Same goes for Archer. Same goes for Orion. Mouseless and Hordem. Hordem is a really big deal because that just ends the run. They don't get a credit. Same with Afshar. That just ends the run. You don't lose 2 credits. And Border Control. Almost all the ice in this list is a lot worse if you hit it with Street Magic. But again, then you're just hitting ice and letting it fire. So you have to make that good. Oh man, I forget what that video is. Sandstone, doesn't matter. Okay, so it's like not amazing. We got to figure out how to make it amazing. I would recommend Noir, Bullet, and Infinity Dungeon from L99. Are those different games they have? I do not know enough about their whole thing. Okay. This is gonna be bad, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Career fair, emergent creativity, labor rights, stim hack, sure gamble, brain cage, brain chip, buffer drive. Dreamcast data folding. John Massanori, Logic Bomb, Black Orchestra, Faust, MK Ultra, Paper Clippers. Okay, that's a different list, but name that actually sounds really interesting. Flip switches to hedge against the bad ice? Yeah, we could. The issues with flip switches, it's like a really low tempo install, and then it's basically doing the thing that we want to avoid doing, right? Like a flip switch is in theory better than Street Magic to some extent, right? Like it has more flexibility. It only fires once, but Street Magic's probably not going to fire that many times. And the idea is like, this is a low tempo play. We pay 1 credit for this, we have it installed, and at the end of the day, it's a panic button for us, which, you know, that's fine. Now, the thing is like how to get value out of the panic button, and people have been suggesting a lot of really cool things because Tracker is a card you can play, and Tracker is kind of expensive. Make a run on the server, prevent the first subroutine that would resolve this run from resolving, and you can choose what the first subroutine is going to be if you hit the card with Street Magic. And this is actually really cool because this actually makes Street Magic relevant. Anything that cares about the order of subroutines, this actually starts mattering unless you're bouncing off the ice and trying to get Turning Wheel or trying to get a Chisel or something like that. So this is kind of cool. Like that actually could work. This is 2 MU, it's 0, but then it's a bit more expensive, but you don't care about boosting, stuff like that. Yeah, Pirate list sounds really good. Pirate, I think, is a really good big deal. We can use Gabali to cheaply make sure the end the run subroutine is the first and not pay 2 credits for Gabali. Drop the career fairs for Street Magic. I don't know if that list though wants this Street Magic. 2MU? Yeah, this is 2MU. This came from that. Yeah, this is random numbers. I think 2MU on this card made it seem kind of like, you know, Sneak Door Beta. It's meant to be a pressure tool. It's meant to be flexible. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's not great. Brain Chip lasts at 2. Yeah, MU. Yeah, it's gonna be fighting with Horosekis, but we can definitely play it. Let's try this. This seems kind of fun. We'll do 2. We can maybe do 3. We really need Street Magic to show up, but this card's unique. Well, it's actually not unique, but it doesn't really care about anything else. Street Magic doesn't change the order of subs for Gabali, just the order they resolve. Wait, really? Oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right. Oh, that actually doesn't matter at all, does it? Yeah, Floofy, you're right. It doesn't actually reorder the subs. Wait, so Tracker doesn't matter. There's nothing that reorders subs. How do I go back to Subway and reorder my sub? It's unbroken subroutines resolve in the order, but Tracker says prevent the first subroutine that would resolve. No, so this works. Tracker still works. Tracker still works because make a run on the server, prevent the first subroutine that would resolve this first term resolving. Okay. So this gets you to the next logical conclusion. Persephone. I know what you're all thinking. Yeah, okay. So the only other thing that works with this is Persephone. It's another 2MU card. You see they work well together. That's 4MU. And it says whenever you pass a sentry, you may trash the top card of the stack to trash 1 card from the top of the R&D for each subroutine on the sentry that resolved. Now, resolved, in theory, if it's like end the run, subroutine, those 2 final subroutines don't resolve because they actually don't trigger. Oh, but this actually prevents them from resolving. My Persephone jank won't work. Persephone needs to pass the ice. Yeah, I was thinking that we'd be able to hit the end the run subroutine and let Persephone fire through the rest of it, but obviously this is a bit ambitious. Yo, Julian, what up, man? It's an Adam deck? Yeah. Tracker works, Crocodile and Pterodactyl don't. Sentries don't have a lot of end the runs either. No, they don't. But that's where you start playing Palangi. Can't stop us now. That's a 5MU rig. It's not very good. Okay, this is a separate conversation of things that we could convince ourselves in a vacuum, is that there's enough cards in the meta that if you do Palangi Persephone, it's pretty good. Yeah, we're deep in the jank tank. I think this is too far. I think we're doing 2 things that don't line up well. But again, we close all the last deck lists, but anything that has like a slot machine, an IP block, anything that has a mouse list, anything that has a subroutine that you let fire, Persephone kicks ass. Does Palangi not work with Persephone? Are you serious? Whenever you pass a sentry, that's no longer a sentry? No, it's for the rest of the run. Oh, fuck. Piss. Macrophage would be great too. Yeah, Macrophage would be good. Those words don't work in the same sentence as jank tank. Wait, I think you might be right. Because this is only, it's once you pass the sentry, it's no longer a sentry. Because Palangi's only for encounter, not for the whole run. This is actually not work. I'm about to be really sad, Netrunner. Why did you do this, Netrunner? We trusted you, Netrunner. And this is what happens? We can't play Persephone, Palangi? Paintbrush also works. Paintbrush is just rotated. Can't play Paintbrush. Pimper's not a real card anymore. It's also 2 MU, so you know it's good. Tinker? Yeah, Tinker's a card. Tinkering amped up hyperdriver? Wait. What do the last two have to do with the first one on that list? This sucks. Okay, so we're gonna remove the Persephones. Plugins. Okay, at least we have a really cool tracker street magic build. That sounds sick. Yeah, tinkering is until the end of turn. Tinkering is kind of cool. It's not until the end of the run, it's the end of the turn. It's kind of rad. I honestly think tinkering should be worth a slot in like stealth, not some maybe stealth decks, but like street, what's it called? Study guide decks. Anything that like breaks some one thing really cheaply. Grappling hook. Nombo with street magic though. It doesn't do anything. I think focusing on the one trick and then adding good stuff around it seems like a good thing. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to make sure that we don't upset ourselves any further. Just play street magic. Making it work is too bad. Oh man. Is Persephone only once per turn? Because Hyperdriver Persephone's tinkering is hilarious. That's a good question. No. I think street magic for value is not terrible. I think it's pretty bad for value. But we go turning wheel. When we pass the century, you may trash the top card of the stack to trash one card on the top of R&D for each sub-routine. It's whenever. It's literally whenever. So what Flip is saying, right, is that you play this in Shaper. You do Hyperdriver, and then you find they're like, fucking, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Literally, who gives a shit, right? Like, you find their slot machine. You have to tech. You're going to be like hunting for slot machines. You find a slot machine. You trigger 2 of your Hyperdrivers. Somehow you figured out how to make that work. And then you play Persephone. Again, it's 2 MU, but who gives a shit? You Cabinets will woo this stuff out. Like, it's gonna last for 1 turn. Whenever you pass a century, and then you tinkering, right? So you tinkering their slot machine to make it a century for the whole turn. That means you're gonna have optimistically with Beth with Hyperdriver 8 to 11 credits clicks worth of tinkering, and then you 3 Persephone. That's a lot of MU, and then you just run through it. And every time you run through, you let everything fire because you don't care. And you mill them. You literally will mill them. I think that's a legitimate strategy. That shit going down strong. I think that's a legitimate strategy. How much influence is Hyperdriver? 3? Persephone's 3? So everyone's equally upset. And tinkering is probably 2. 4? Fuck me. Okay. Here we go. I guess we play this in Shaper. Sounds super janky and legit really cool. I think it's legitimately like I'd be absolutely floored if that happened to me. Yeah, this deck has to be Shaper. I think you play Cabinessa just so you can like, I don't know, pull a Hyperdriver and rejig it or whatever. 100% woo? Yeah, 100% woo. Okay, everyone's gonna be really pissed. I think we should do this. I think we're gonna get off Adam and do this because this seems way cool. Male is my favorite archetype in MTG, and I'm kind of sad there's not more of it in Netrunner. Yeah. Mill is an easy way to lose friends. It's hard, right? Because everyone gets salty for Mill. But at the end of the day, I like Data Leak Reversal. I was excited for Adam. I know, me too. But like, this is kind of cool. Adam, not tonight. Woo Persephone, let's do it. I think we should do it. Let's do it. It seems so cool. Okay, let's make this as good as possible. And then we're going to need somebody to join a game on JNet and just queue in as an NBN deck and just have street magics, just have slot machines, IP blocks, just have shit that pop up windows. No, that's not that good, is it? Always knew you were a degenerate. Yo, proudly. DLR is fun. This is the kind of thing I can't grok. I leave this to Rotage. Yeah, Rotage would be we need him. Be right back. Are you getting Rotage? What if I give you Command to walk into? Acceptable. No, because it won't have subroutines. It'll only have subroutines the first time. Not good enough. I made the original Fight Club self-damage list back in the day. I like this list a lot. I'll join with a Cheesley deck. Motherfucker. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. This seems cool. Cabo Woo. Cabinessa. Command keeps the subs till the end of the run? Yeah, but like, that doesn't matter. We want it till the end of the turn, right? Because we want to tinkering through this as many times as we can. Rotage likes an early night these days. Ah, bummer. Yeah, the thing is, like, we want to go through it as many times as possible. So tinkering, let's play 2 Persephones, 3 Persephones. Okay, hyperdriver. Okay, and how do we get as much MU as quickly as possible? I think we want rejigs. Okay, so the Persephone has some clauses here. It costs 5 credits. That's way too much money. It costs 2 MU, which is really difficult. And it says whenever you pass a sentry, you must trash the top card of the stack to trash 1 card from the top of R&D for each subroutine in the sentry that was resolved. Okay, so we want multiple hyperdrivers. I'm thinking it's safe that we just want a Beth in there. What else do we need? Modded and net chip seems like a must. Yeah, modded's a must. I don't know if we want to show we have a Persephone. And the thing is, if we do show we have a Persephone, at least we can also play a Pelonges. Because then we can make anything a sentry at least for 1 run to start doing some damage. Yeah, I'm worried about Netchip because Netchip seems really slow. Is Bazaar still a thing we can play? How do we draw? How do we degenerately draw everything? Do we play in the groove? Is Mantle good with tracker? Uh-oh, Che, I think you're really behind. Is it worth it to maybe have a copy of Always Have a Backup Plan? Honey, that's interesting. Let me read what that card does. Maya? Yeah, there's a lot of cheap MU. Super Corridor. I think Super Corridor is more expensive. I think it's 4. But like cards like Maya and Mirror Earth are cheaper. Okay. I guess we're playing Maya. Sick. Beach plus Game Day. I don't think, yeah, Beach plus Game Day is hard, but yeah, we could do it. Hold on. Always Have a Backup Plan was introduced. Run any server. When the run ends, if it was unsuccessful, you may run that server again, ignoring additional costs. During the run, when you encounter the last dice you encounter, you bypass it. Okay, so you bypass it, so it doesn't actually work. It doesn't, unfortunately, work. Super Corridor could cost you 0? Ambitious. Netchip is slow to install, but what else are you doing? I think we do Netchip over Akamatsu just because we need to install all this like 3 to 2 MU stuff. So seems like you might want tinkering for cost reduction. Wait, what? Diesel? Wait, not tinkering. What is it? Modded, right? I want to be able to double install too, though. Like, there's a chance that Haley's better if we're playing like 3 copies of Netchip. 6 copies of the Netchip, sorry. I don't think we need 6. We probably play like 4. Who knows? Gamble. But how do we draw things? Diesel. Haley. Yeah, we might want to do Haley. Is Paula's Cafe? No, Paula's Cafe only works if we have resources. Is Bazaar any good? Bazaar would mean we want 6 net chips. How bad is In the Groove? With SMC, we definitely want SMC. We will have rejig, self-modifying code. I think if we have SMC, then we definitely want like stim hack to be able to get this combo out quickly. And we probably want simul chips so that we can like quickly reinstall Persephones or some shit. Mobius to run twice with 1 click. It's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth it. Because like this is good if we set up, but I'm worried that we're not gonna be able to set up. Like to get everything working and then get Mobius in our hand and then fire Mobius, it buys us an extra click. Like if we just get a hybrid driver up, would probably be better. Yeah, I think we need Rizeki, but Rizeki's MU and that's gonna be an issue. Haley might be better, the battle cry for the Shaper player. Bazaar is bad. Yeah, Bazaar would be good. Like how good is In the Groove? Like can we afford to install things that often? Because the idea is that we do In the Groove, whenever install a card with a printed cost of 1 or greater, draw 1 card. And in theory, that combos with Bazaar, right? Like in theory, if I'm not mistaken, if we play In the Groove and then we install a net chip, we can draw a card and then install a net chip. Proco seems way too slow. Yo, Mike, what up, dude? It's been a minute. Peace in Our Times is probably fine. I think Peace in Our Time is good. Sports Hopper for draw with modded. Yeah, we could. I don't know. Is it that good? It's 2 cards to draw 3. Doesn't seem great. Can always groove if this works. Okay. Let's do some basic stuff. We probably also want like real breakers, so I don't know. We just play an Ngolo. Fine. Maybe reshape. What's reshape? That's a card. That's wild. No, there's no way. We're never gonna know what the unres dice is. If we did have a way to move ice though, like if we had a Cordyceps, we might be in a good place. But I think we have to play a what's it called, Pelonges. Surfer. God, fucking Surfer Tinkering is just good. Surfer Tinkering is just good. That's a bummer. I really don't like this card. It's not fun. Wow, we're already at 40 cards. We don't have enough money in here. Like we need, I don't know, career fair, but we don't have a lot of career fair stuff to install. We don't have breakers. Proco, I think Proco's gonna be so slow. Like what, do we put daily casts? And then like we have a full deck. We only have one breaker. But with the Tinkering's competing with the Persephone strat if you add Surfer. But Tinkering is part of the Persephone strat though, right? If you do the infinite money Surfer thing, you only need one Persephone. Yeah, but I want to mill them. I don't want to surf in. Hey, this might sound like out of field, but do you have any comic book knowledge? Very little. I've read like old Spider-Man and Batman growing up. That's largely it. Angola plus Plongi is enough. I hope so. 1x Angola. Okay, so this is where we are right now. Is exclusive party still a thing? It is. It's just not a very good card. It's like really slow. It's not really draw. Like exclusive party is just clickless money. I wouldn't call this a draw card. I don't know. I feel like because we can't put 6 in it, like we'd be better off with just something like Deuces Wild. 1/70 and SMCs, get Bravado or something like that to make money. Yo, Dave, what's up? I feel like that's hard too, like because we need a face check at this point. Like I think the best thing we can do is sit back and do nothing and then try and win in one turn. Jogging says hash comics on Slack. Whoever said that, tell them Andre. Okay, hash comics on Slack. On StimHack Slack. Deuces and Peace. Yeah, Deuces and Peace seem good. Are they ashes for running on a sentry 6 times in one click? Yeah, Vincent, like I hear you for that. But the thing is like building to have this beautiful turn where we win is going to be less of an issue compared to like not losing. You know? Exclusive party Anacom is pretty fun. Oh, that actually seems cool. Anacom would be pretty cool here. Wait, is Anacom even just good in this list? It's not Anacom. It's not... I never know how to spell it. Yeah, it's not 2MU though. Yeah, I don't know. Do we need 2MU? We have 18 events. This actually seems pretty good. Fisk Seminar did not rotate. Yeah, I'll try Anacom. Okay, well, how's this draw? Okay, so opening hand, that's pretty good. We don't have career fair in this list. We could put career fair in if we found the slots. Do we find a way to do slots? Terrence says to the point of the meme deck isn't to win, it's to try 50 times, fail 49, and then retire the deck after one success. And then you make a YouTube video, right? And they'd be like undefeated. Hear me out. Slipstream as long as the sentry's on centrals. There's probably a lot of like weird, really weird cards that could work. If you do choose a piece of ice protecting a central server in the same position as the past, you're now pressing. No, I don't know. I don't think so. Plongi and Tinkering, you need both. I feel like we might not need both. Plongi's also virus, which is awkward with Cabo. I feel like Rozekis would probably be good, but I don't know how to pull Rozekis out. Needed Deuces and Peace. Yeah, I feel like that is probably true. Plongi is meant to be with Ngolo. The thing is like we have 3 Tinkering and that's it. So I feel like the Plongis are probably worth it. That's our early game pressure. Price of Failure slows them down. Price of Failure? We can't play Price of Failure. We have one Price of Freedom. We have only one connection. Oh no, we have Proco, but we're not gonna Pro. Persephone plus Salvage Vanitas. Salvage Vanitas is banned. Morbeth, it's kind of a hard call for Morbeth. I feel like we needed Deuces or Freedom. I feel like Freedom would be so good in this deck. That's not what the card is called. Peace. I think Peace would be so good in this list. Caddy, I feel like Peace is better than Caddy. What do we cut? What do we cut? Do we need all these SMCs? Probably not. Do we need all these rejigs? Palongi? I'll cut one. I'll keep one. Gotta make room for the black file. 2 Tinkering? Yeah, maybe 2 Tinkering. I pity the Eternals. Oh man. Yeah, we can do 2 Tinkering. Cut rejig, play Haley. Cut 1 Palongi. Yeah, I think there's an argument to play Haley here for sure. Okay, let's see what this looks like though. Okay, we mulligan that. So this opening hand, we would probably do a Tempo Hyperdriver here. We Diesel first for sure gamble if we have it. We don't. So we would Diesel, we wouldn't play this. Then we would, what are we modding? Persephone? Data Breach is Shaper Mobius? Yeah, I just don't think we need other cards to make our win turn better. I think we just need to set up faster. Because our win turn seems pretty good. Cut 1 to 2 rejig. I think we can cut 1 rejig for sure. Okay, so this hand's fine. We'd game loss in our time. We'd Diesel. Here we would play NetChip. We would install a hyperdriver. Nano, that's very loud. Do you hear that? It's like a cardboard wave behind me. The cat is just absolutely tearing into it. Yeah, I think we can cut one modded because we don't have that many good modded targets. Just like Anacom. It's really Anacom besides the Persephone and Golo. Drop modded so many cheap programs. Yeah, we really don't have that many. We could consider running In the Groove. We actually might be better running In the Groove because it's flexible. Because sometimes it's like a mini. Sometimes it's a mini modded, right? Man, In the Groove with Haley seems so cool. Okay, let's see what this looks like real quick. We're gonna play one soon. Oh, that was a good hand. Okay, this. So we do Proco, we would draw Proco, and then we'd probably install self-modifying code. Then next turn, we only have 2 credits, so we can't In the Groove this turn. Actually, maybe we can. Yeah, we probably would In the Groove. We play In the Groove, we install NetChip for free, we install SimulChip for free. Man, Haley would have been really cool. That's a double install. I think Haley might be right here. Yeah, let's try Haley. Then we can cut all the rejigs. So we just need to play another SMC though for Haley. Yeah, Haley seems like it has a lot. She has a lot of flexibility because we have SimulChips as well. In the Groove seems bad. Just play deuces. I don't know. In the Groove seems kind of cool, right? Well, let's see. Let's see. Well, deuces we do have an MU issue or an infinite influence issue. Okay, this opening hand is sick, right? Like we would diesel here. Okay, it's not amazing. We would click for credit. We double debut cast, click for credit. In the Groove is only hardware and programs, right? What? It's whenever you install a card? That's amazing. Oh, we are down a card, game loss. That's a good point. I don't know, Palangi? Hard time installing 2 programs at once early with Haley? Yeah, but we have a lot of hardware. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Okay, so we open with Diesel, Gamble, Diesel, and then we double casts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We throw out something. Yeah, I think this looks okay. I think we keep the Anacom. So we install In the Groove. We install Anacom. We probably draw a card on that. I think no, we need to get a Proco down. Yeah, this seems fine. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. 1x misdirection for protection. We could. Let's see if we can go risky. Let's go. Let's see if we can do it. But yeah, we could definitely slot one in. Kind of want to try pure Palangi, Persephone, Street Magic, Mill Deck, and Anarch with Friday Chip. The thing is, like, Street Magic doesn't help that much with Persephone because you still have to get through the ice. But it's cute. It's definitely cute. Friday chips. I don't know what to call this. Persephone. I'm excited for trying this. Let's go. All right, please. Your deck with 3x slot machines. You got to queue that shit up. Let's go. Persephone owned. Ooh, Dave, I like it. Hey, man, been a while. Glad to catch a live stream and jank to boot. GG and cheers tonight. Adam, thank you. Hey, thanks for dropping by and the kind words. I'm really excited for this. Persephone. Onwed. Is owned a rude word? Is it? I just searched for Persephone. That's not right. Just janking out loud. 21 games tonight. That's sick. That's really good. Okay, so what ice is good for us? IP block, mediocre. We don't have Link anymore. Slot machine, good. Mouseless. We can sustain the damage, hopefully. It's okay. Again, it can be anything that we go through as long as we don't break the subroutines. Pop-up window. Unsustainable. We're really hunting for a slot machine here. Or a mouseless. I don't know what else is that good. Is there anything in the format that you let the subroutines fire that often? I can't think of that much. This is probably a horrible idea. What ice do you let fire that often? Crick, Engram Flush. Macrophage, yeah, Lumilla. Macrophage would be huge. And we have no viruses. We have Palangi. Macrophage is fine. You want to avoid Anansi? Yeah, we will probably avoid Anansi. At least Angola is okay with it. Tinkering Angola is also interesting. I think you want 2 Beth to find it fast. Yeah, I think you could argue for 2 Beth. Beth obviously does help you set up, no matter how she goes. Slot Machine's probably ideal. Yeah, Slot Machine's the best one by far, I think. If you find a Byroy that does like Z 1.0, but that's obviously wild. I couldn't brew up a Terabad deck over you. Slot Machine, it's IP block, it's Macrophage. It honestly doesn't sound that off from some meta decks. Engram Flush we can let fire as many times as we want. It won't do anything, and we can just jack out. So that one's actually pretty good too. Is Harvester still legal? Yeah, Harvester is still legal. It has 2 subroutines. We can let those fire. You get 3x Fansight and Arts Colony set up faster when they score. It's a lot of slots, but yeah, you definitely could do that. Maybe it's better than self-modifying code or something else. I think we're going to find out how bad the In the Grooves are. But they seem okay. Love Harvester and Mill. It's a really cool archetype. It just never works together. Always letting the runner draw. It's really hard to mill the runner out now without Kakugo in an easy way. Like letting them draw through like Agroplex stuff like that. A lot of times it's just making you lose faster. But Opakata is at least attached to that one condition. Fansight for In the Groove sounds good. Yeah, well no, actually it doesn't work because Fansight costs 0. In the Groove is only for cards that cost more than 0. Is it uncouth if I jump in the game and close the stream? No, not at all, Dave. Endless Eula? Endless Eula, you have to pay and get through it, so we can't afford to do that often. But you're right, you pay 6 to trash 6 ice. It's in theory good if you have the money. They sniped 3 cards out of my 1000 cuts deck with 2006 ban list. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Any 1000 cuts deck definitely hurt. I have a Combo Corp meme deck I can play it. Terrence, a bit too slow on that, but thank you. Appreciate the offer. All right, Mirror Morph. We don't have Clot, so they can score out of hand. Maybe they have Slot Machine. This hand's good enough. Best of luck. This is Dave from chat, so they know what we're up to. Nice hand. Yeah, that's pretty good, huh? Could work with that. Let me just zoom in a bit. Too much. Gotta use the scroll wheel. Find that happy medium. Excited to see some skateboard chicks. Oh, let's hope we can call them. Call them that. It's all just ETRs. Yeah, this side probably has a lot of ETRs actually. I don't know what HV runs that's not in that camp. So I don't know whether we're gonna be able to do anything here. Install. So it doesn't look like they're gonna get a Mirror Morph trigger. And the issue here is we're gonna have to try and play and stop them from winning. We don't have any win condition otherwise. Hi Dave from chat. All right. Game lost in our time. Wow, that's an opening though. I meant to do that. That's a sick opening. Rashida, pretty good. Dave's gonna be on 13 credits, gonna refill their hand. MCA Informant's gonna fuck with us a wee bit, but at least we have Beth. I meant Austerity Policy, not Informant. Ooh, Daily Quest. I think we run into that, right? We want to keep Dave's money down. That means we won't piece this turn, but again, we don't really need to. Oh, double ice. Okay. Let's hit a Gatekeeper. I don't care. You can let a bit of the Gatekeeper fire. You can also let Fairchild 3 fire. Oh, no, you can't let the End the Run fire. Ooh, Spiderweb. Someone doesn't like that boomerang. Water straight from the bottle. Yo, I realized that I've spent so much time washing glasses where I could just drink from the bottle. No one else drinks from this bottle. Maddie just looked at me like, what are you doing, dude? No one drinks from that bottle. That's fine. Okay, so we diesel instead of pro code. What did we get? We got, what did Rashid give us? Not Rashid, Beth gave us a click. Okay, so we have 3 clicks left. So we could pro code once, probably find a double install. Yeah, we did. So we can do these 2. No, we have 1 more. So the problem with installing the hyperdriver early is that we won't get it on a net chip. We're gonna have to install 2 more net chips. This deck probably could have 5 net chips instead of 4, because we need to find 3 of 4 to hit the hyperdriver off of on it. And that's probably a bit too low in retrospect. There's probably agendas in HQ, but we're gonna try and set up. I really don't think we're gonna find ice to connect with on this one. It's really NBN or bust. Now they are mirror morph. That is a double draw, so they're not going to fire their ability. We're probably going to be on 15 credits, and it looks like an upgrade on server 1. Don't know. That could be Ash. We have 5 clicks. Let's start draw. Fuck. Oh, this is terrible. Ing. This is bad. This is bad. This is pretty bad. This is bad. Chat. This is bad. This is not good. Oh, this is bad. I don't like this. Oh boy, I don't like this. Why do we draw 3 hyperdrive? Pop SMC for Rizeki. We don't have Rizeki. We do not have Rizeki. Yeah, we could SMC for Ngolo. In theory, we could like stim hack SMC for Ngolo and install Plongi at the same time. We have a chance of sniping an agenda from a hand. It can't be an Ikawa. I think that's probably okay. Just keep the hyperdrivers. Yeah, we're just gonna hold on to them. Yeah, we'll just stim hack and get the Ngolo down, I guess. You gotta get yourself a nice water bottle. My GF got me one last year so that I could stop buying plastic ones for work, and so good. I drink so much more water than I used to. So I agree with that. I feel like it's not a bad water bottle. I feel like you talked a bit of shit of my water bottle here. It's glass. It has a interesting closing mechanic that lets me, I can fiddle with it. People keep talking about slot machine and macrophage, but just wait until you find endless. Yeah, it'll be really cool if we do. I just don't think we will. All right, get some cards out of hand. MC austerity policy. Yeah, I'll trash that. And we lost a hyperdriver. That's fine. 4 cards. Ah, yes. The corp is acting. Are they? Are they? Oh, okay, misclick. I don't buy plastic water bottles. I think plastic water bottles are stupid. It's definitely a fancy restaurant that serves tap water in glass kind of bottle. Yo, but you say that, Vincent. There's nothing wrong with serving tap water in a water bottle. That's totally fine. As long as they don't charge money for it. Several of that kind of. Yeah, it's from IKEA. It's like $2. There's 2 in this room. All right, so Ngolo means that we can charge that remote. There's an austerity policy. I'd be really, really concerned about having a glass one. I oscillate wildly between graceful textures and extremely klutzy. It'd probably break it. Ooh. I haven't broken it yet. But I know where you're coming from. There are places in the world where getting served tap water is a bad time. Canada's cool though. Oh yeah, totally. There's definitely places in the world where you don't want to drink the tap water, but Canada, you're good. I can't believe this deck is working out this poorly. Okay, we're almost there. Yeah, cold side server is cute. I think we saw this a week ago where you can just use this for like value. Every turn click it. That's like what Mirror Morph does. It's okay. It obviously makes this hard to run. It insinuates there's a Fairchild 3 there in front of server 1 or a border control. Both of those are pretty good when click taxing. But we still have 4 clicks a turn, so this MCA doesn't do too much. And they score 5-3 from hand. I don't think we're that upset. We just want to set up. Don't forget to use your game loss. Yeah. We don't need the money now. But we won't be able to next turn. Yeah, that's fair. Gets a card out of our hand too. Proco. Diesel. We'll find 2 hardware. Not exactly. Shit. How many tinkering do we have on the list? 2. Okay. At least, hey, we're ready for a hyperdriver. We can install all the hyperdrivers. This looks good. I don't think we need the gamble. You need it? Yeah, I think we do. But now the problem is like we have to make something a hardware and then we have to go through it. So we also have to pull out all our Persephones. We can definitely do this. We are going to need the money, right? Because we're going to have to SMC for Persephone. That's like 7 credits a pop. But then we go through the whole thing. So we need to find a slot machine. If we find a slot machine, we're going to be able to mill a lot of their deck. Triple advance. No action. They should have asked for an action though. We have Clot, but they knew our list. Yeah, we just need to find the ice. CST. That's good. And we have 4 clicks. We'll run R&D here. We're looking for that slot machine. Slot machine. Fairchild 3. Yeah, fuck. Okay, so it's either a whole turn or like 5 credits, I think. Okay, so could we make the sentry and we have to get through it with subroutines firing? So we'd have to rip up our board state. It's in theory possible, right? Like we break once the end the run brain damage subroutine, and then we just rip up our board state. So every time we run this, we can mill 6 cards. So if we run through this, we're gonna run out of cards. But if we have nothing to trash, then we have to trash our Persephones. Okay. The ones I've got is metal and vacuum insulated. Ooh. Yeah, we'll break this. So Angola doesn't give you the option to cleanly break everything because there's way too many triggers. Just get crazy rich. Yeah, it's kind of hard though. Don't have Rizeki. I don't mean to talk shit on tap water. It's more the perception that wine shit glasses bottles fancier. Oh yeah, for sure. But also someone serves it to you. If they just put a slot machine down, I think we're in a good spot. Hagen. Okay. Good to know. Proco. Sick. Proco. Host a program. I've never seen this happen. I've never seen this happen. I've never seen a hyperdriver on a net chip, even though everyone says you can put a hyperdriver on a net chip. We have 11 click turn waiting for us. We have 11 click turn. We should probably put notoriety in this list, huh? Right? So each of these is 3 clicks with bets. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if we find 2 Persephones, oh fuck, the MCA is just coming back over and over again. If we find 2 Persephones, every time we go through this Fairy Chat 3, so in theory we have to tinkering, so we can make 10 runs. So we can mill 20 cards, but we're gonna need a shit ton of money. Encore, yeah, you in theory could do Encore, right? So we're gonna hopefully win before they do. We probably should be poking HQ, let's be honest. We'll poke HQ once and double daily cast. Yeah, the Procos are really good actually. Encore, yeah. Oh, another restore, that's a bummer. Yeah, the Proco is totally right. Get a shit ton of brain damage? No, we can't let the brain damage fire. We have to break it. Because we have to pass the ice. Shaper nonsense, yeehaw. Please just put a fuck slot machine. Put it on HQ. There has to be an agenda at hand, right? I think you should save the 11 clicks for Persephone turn. That's entirely the point. It's clicking for 11 credits. Oh man. Let's hit. Oh wait, I didn't see they put an ice there, but this is fine. Slot machine, Hagen. They can trash a hyperdriver. We obviously don't want that to happen. We'll make it a code gate. We'll boost, break. That's expensive, sort of. Restore, shit. Proco, okay. I don't think we need a second Palangi, so I'm going to Proco again. Oh, we're getting there, my friends. We're getting there. Oh, we are getting there. This is a 10 credit install. Oh my god. Okay, can we do it? How do we get infinite money? Is there an infinite money trick? Infinite money. Okay, so we have 1 MU, but that's good enough. We trash the Palangi, and we install this for 5 here and this for 5 over there. Okay, then we tinkering this, and then we have to get through it. We have to make it a sentry. Tinkering means it'll be a sentry for the whole turn, but we have to get through it, and then we mill a card for each subroutine that resolved. So they'll lose 3 credits or trash a card subroutine has to resolve. You discard Persephone to install them both with Stim Hack. Oh, we can only install 1 with Stim Hack so far, but I see what you're doing. Yeah, that's a good idea. Install Hyper on their turn. Sorry? Yeah, if we could. But where's the last Hyper? Oh yeah, we could simulchip for Hyperdriver for more clicks. I see what you mean, yeah. We have to trash a card though. We just eat the Palangi. The fun thing is you could play Remote Lock and win from here. Yeah, we could. The issue is that we only have like Palangi and Golo. I don't want to do that. Oh, they're just stunting on us by restoring the same MCA over and over again. It's just rude. But like, imagine they had a slot machine. One slot machine. We'd be able to mill, what, 3 times 10 times 2. No, that's not. Yeah, that's right. We'd be able to mill like 60 cards. Ugh. I don't think we can go off here. I just don't think we have enough money, right? I don't think we're in a rush, let alone this turn we have fewer clicks. Like, they used a restore, that's fine. New Ice got a check. I don't know if we got to check this. There's no way they put a slot machine here. It could be slot machine. I don't think it is. But okay, we install both of these for 10. I think we want another simul chip. Let's just keep finding a simul chip. Oh, game loss in our time would be pretty good. Oh, we only have 3 clicks. That's awkward. I don't think we need another hyperdriver. I think we have enough clicks. I do like the tinkerings though. Okay. Gotta dream a little more. No, that's where they put their fucking surveyor. Okay, so next turn we get down our simul chip. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. Anacom. Is that worth installing? Yeah. No, not yet. Okay, here we go. Here we fucking go. We need to save cards for Persephone triggers? Wait, why do we need cards? Oh, we have to trash cards from the stack? What the fuck? I didn't know that. Who built this card? Why did they have to add that clause? We need to put like a Levy Harmony AR therapy in here. What were they? We need to put a therapy back in here. We can only mill. This sucks. Reading is fundamental. I don't know, guys. Why? We have. Oh man, that's so bad. To be fair, you need to trash 1 from your side. Yeah, per each one. Max 99. Fuck. Okay, I still think we can do something cool. If they could just install a slot machine, am I asking too much? That's so embarrassing. It's okay. We can do some damage. We're gonna fire off this turn anyways and have a small chance of winning. Need a trope, I guess. Nah, trope is way too janky. I think we just need like a Harmony AR therapy. That adds a bunch more cards into our deck. The issue is like every time we break this though, it's kind of expensive. Oh man, they're on that. Obviously that's a problem. Okay, thinking. So we want to simul chips. I think it's better to simul chip back in our 2 Persephones more than it is to simul chip in anything else. Wait, where'd your hair go? Sorry? What do you mean, Mike? Okay, we're just gonna go for it. I don't think this is right. Oh, wait. No, we can't do this. We can't do this. Buffer wouldn't help, could it? Buffer's only once a turn, so I don't think it's worth it. Do you mind? Yeah, we need to wait for after the hyperdriver trigger. It doesn't change anything. You don't need Angola now? Yeah, we actually do, because we need to break the Fairchild. We do need to break the Fairchild, because we have to get through it. Okay, so 9 cards in a stack obviously is a big issue here, and we did not have to draw this hard through our deck. Why? Should have summon chips for when you stim hack? Oh, that's a good point. Oh, fuck. And now, because of Anakim, we're going to have 1 fewer card in our deck. Oh, that's really bad. Yeah, you're totally right, though, about a stim hack. Okay, so whenever you pass a sentry, this is a sentry. Trash the top card of the stack, 1 card for each subroutine on the sentry that resolved. So, wait, how do these not take up MU? What's happening here? 5 of 5 MU? What's happening? Okay. We could put this back in Woo, make a 99 card deck, and Woo out our combo pieces. It's a bit difficult. You can't just Woo out your combo pieces. Let's see this work. Jinteki can't deal with your madness. Yeah, Morska, I don't think it can. Okay, so we're just gonna rip up our board. What? Huh? Oh wait. Hold on. We have to fire the subs. Oh, we have to redo this. Yeah, because they have to fire that. They actually have to fire the subs. Can I have this back, please? Please. Okay. Sorry, we gotta do this all again. Build a 60 card deck? Yeah, maybe we could do like a smaller number, but I think we just have to put some cards back in our deck. Like, I think we're only short like 4 cards in our stack for this combo to go off fully. Sorry, we have to do this all again. This is a bit tedious, I'm aware. Yeah, it's really tedious. Host. Click. We're getting out of this. Host. Click. Continue. Paint. Well, not paint. Kick. Punch. Done. Let all subroutines fire. So they have to let us fire. Did you win the internet? No, we're doing okay. Oh, we'll trash an installed card. We don't need this. We'll trash an installed card. We don't need this. Excuse me? Huh? Why is this happening again? Oh, they did it twice. And we had bad pups, so I'm gonna give 1. Yeah, they clicked twice. But Stimac credits? You're right. We should have done Stimac credits. It's gonna F up your Persephone math? We'll see, we'll see. We'll see if this messes it up. It might, it honestly might. But then it will do undo click. Because they fired 4 subs? Well, we'll see though. Yeah, maybe. Because I don't think I can't win. No, it's good. Trash 2 cards from R&D. For each sentry subroutine? Oh, I thought it was 1 per ice. Oh, we can only mill 8 cards. That's so bad. Gatekeeper. We are seeing new cards though. That's kind of interesting. Like, it actually is R&D multi-axis. 16 cards? I don't think so. Whenever you pass a sentry. Oh, we should have milled 2 more. Why did I not hit the no button? I forgot I had 3 of these. I don't think it's 16 cards. Oh, I undermilled. Okay, we goofed that up. Yeah, 2 subs per fire. I definitely I get goofed that up. From 1 from the stack per 1 sub from R&D. Six of 4 MU unused. Oh, sorry. Don't do that. 2, 2, 2. Oh, yeah, I did goof it up. Wait, it's 1 card per 2 subs? Whenever you pass the sentry, you may trash the top card of the stack. To trash 1 card. Oh, it's not per. Okay, so this is actually pretty good. So we missed 2 mil. No, it's all good. Seems good. Okay, so we might actually have thrown the game. We might have thrown the game. This is really expensive now, though. Yeah, we should have got 2 more mil there for sure. And that might be a difference. The money's going to be tight, but we can always click for credits. Like, we have a lot of clicks. And the stim hack credits also, we definitely goofed up. It's pretty good, though. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. You rerun archives for sure. Okay, we can't mill more than that. Give us an agenda. It's a Vacheron. Okay. They have 9 cards left. We probably still lose. And now we only have an Angola with nothing else. We have no support, nothing. So let's run archives. C17. Oh, Vacheron doesn't fire from archives. We win the game! Wow. Wow. Whoa, degenerate deck, let's go. I was hoping for a slot machine. We have to optimize this list. Oh man, that's wild. Like we were, okay, so how many times could we gone more? If we had 3 more cards in our deck, we could have milled 6 more. So if we had 6 more cards in our deck, we could have flatlined them. How much money would have that costed? It costs, every time we run through this, it's 9 credits. And we can't click through it. So we would be short, 6 cards and we were short a couple credits. Which if we didn't fuck up the stim hack, actually might have been possible. I just made this yesterday. It seemed like a good enough test run. I think I have slot machines, sadly. Oh. Caddy? Yeah, Caddy's a possibility. If we click Caddy once a turn, that's probably good enough. I'm worried that it's just slow compared to our setup. I think Haley definitely did way more than we would have done. The cold sight on R&D is also a nightmare. Yeah, but Caddy could help. This would be the next death because of the week. Yo, Matish, how's it going? Okay, let's give this another run. How do we change it? Do we put another, do we put an AR Harmony in here? More net chips. I think we definitely do need more net chips. I think we put an AR Harmony therapy in here. I don't know if I'm in love with the Anacom. Like, I feel like we could just play Maya. And we can also use Maya for pseudo multi-axis. Because on the turn that we're going to win, Maya's only once a turn, right? Because if we use Maya, we can bottom a card that's not the winning agenda. I totally don't want to go to work tomorrow. Responsibility sucks. Sorry about that. Big Max, but with Persephone. I think Big Max is like not gonna work. Like you need so many things. Like you need tinkering, you need Angolo, you need it's hyperdriver. Like I think Big Max is just way too much. An equivocation. Ooh, equivocation actually would be pretty sick. That's every time. Wow, equivocation is actually way better than Maya. Whoa, equivocation's amazing. You're assuming you get all the way into R&D. Oh yeah, you're totally right. We generally don't get into R&D. We could have done that on any ice. Okay. Maybe trade the Anacams for net chips. Yeah, that's believable. Yeah, I'm cool with that. That also makes the In the Grooves a bit better. MU though. Maya for MU. Maya's not bad. Is Maya better than the 6th net chip? Yeah, I think so. Magic having consume when you mill 20. Consume is only it's not only installed cards, is it? Okay, but the difference is whenever you trash a card, who trashes with Persephone? Oh, you actually trash. That's funny. I don't understand net chip and Anacom. 6x net chip and Haley isn't better. Yeah, I think 6x net chip is better. I think the Onicom was wrong, but I thought we were going to draw with the Onicom with our set. You went through your deck. How much did you get from In the Groove? But the In the Groove were 3 in the bottom 9 cards. So I don't think, Julien, we can say that it was bad. Because in theory, it's actually really good. If we have the money, we do In the Groove, install a net chip draw, install a net chip draw, install a net chip draw. But the problem was they were in the bottom. So we didn't see what they could do. Do we have to make another change here? I think the net chips are good. Is there anything we're missing? Like caddy we wanted into there? How do we get the caddy slot in there? We drop a Palangi. Palangi's our early pressure, and that deck wasn't pressuring us out early. Getting the early Beth was also so important that I could see running 2. I don't think Buffer Drive is worth it. It's way too slow, and it buys us an extra card. It's only once per turn, and we're only trashing cards when we win. I'll drop a Palangi, but I like the Palangi. It slows them down. Can SMC out? Yeah, we can SMC out the Palangi if we need to. Is Harmony anything here? Yeah, Harmony is an option just to put more cards into our deck. But like it's a card that's not necessary. Maybe we want, instead of 3 In the Groove, we could do 2 In the Groove and a Harmony. Yeah, new Levy, right, Dave? Good game, by the way. Yeah, we could do a new Levy just to get more cards into our deck. Drop In the Groove. I want to see what In the Groove does before we drop it. But I think maybe dropping In the Groove is right because it's not that good. But potentially it can draw us a heck of a lot. We'll see. I would add at least 1x Maya. I don't see why. It's expensive and it's worse than net chip. Like our first net chip is Akamatsu, our second is a console, and it's better with the double install. I don't see why we need the Maya unless we're running R&D. Let's try this. But I think there's arguments definitely for trying Harmony. 2 MU for 1 slot? Yeah, but like a second net chip is 2 MU for 1 slot. And it's a lot cheaper. Thanks, all I know I've learned from you. Oh, cheers. Maya plus equivocation. Yeah, Adam, we were thinking of equivocation, but we have to realize that running R&D cheaply that many times is probably not realistic. A lot of times against Shaper, they ice up R&D heavily, and the thing is, like, we just need to find an outermost ice that we can goof with. Like, it's not likely we're going to be able to run R&D that often. That being said, having equivocation as another combo where we like have 11 clicks, run R&D if they don't ice it or something like that, yeah, that's an option for sure. It's another win condition, which is kind of attractive for the deck. Persephone. What was the other combo piece with Haley and Bazaar? It was a replicate chip or something. Something. SSO's this deck's worst nightmare. Yeah, it's really bad. It's really, really, really bad. I forget what it's called. Replica something. It rotated, unfortunately. Replicator. Thank you. Persephones. Could be good to grab it all in the net chicks from deck. Yeah, it just rotated though. But we were considering Bazaar. Bazaar like needs a lot of really bursty draw. So like maybe game day, beach party stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any other way to tutor multiple cards of the same name. That was the only way. Replicator was really, really strong. Okay. We got one more good game in us. Let's go hit that slot machine. Let's roll them bones. Free. A free real estate. This is definitely a lot of really bad matchups. There's a lot of ice that doesn't matter. So we really need to like sit on caddy in those matchups to afford the like 10 credit turn. And modded actually didn't seem to be that good considering we tried to save as much money as we could. Like we used our simul chips like modded. Having a Palangi for that actually has some relevance. Like having a Palangi as a simul chip buffer. Watch this match against Acid Spam Tour Guide. Yeah, that'll be bad. That'll be pretty bad. We don't even have like Rozekis for assets. What up, Close? Close generally plays a lot of Blue Sun. This could be an issue. Oh, Paulina. That probably has slot machine, let alone Engram Flush. This can work. Opening hand, Diesel, Piece, double installed. Yeah, this is fine. How's how you been? Yeah, this matchup could be going. That Au revoir art is awesome. We'll keep this hand for sure. Yeah, that's a good hand, eh? Stellar hand. I'll take it. The only problem might be milling ourselves and not being able to steal oboe. Well, the thing is, like, we can mill ourselves. Like, we can mill the corp. Like, we've only a couple cards left from the corp losing. All right, so hopefully we get another resource that matters a bit more. Okay, we can't play In the Groove. So in theory, we could wait for In the Groove next turn. No. I think we want to draw once more here, and then... No, we just want to do double install. Yeah, we'll draw once more here and double install. Nice. I wonder if you can actually just run damage protection and tank sentries, right? Like, what can you run? If you have infinite money, in theory, you could play, like, that first aid troop that you pay 2 credits to draw a card, and you could just tank through stuff. Dragon Friend. Holy cow, people play this? Yep, a lot of people play this. Oh, Guru's too expensive. Caldera's too expensive. I'm thinking of, like, the first aid ones. Yeah, Dragon Friend. Worlds was, like, a week ago. No, a month ago, excuse me. There's, like, 300 players. It's still a really popular game. How you doing? Drawing cards but losing cards in stack? Sure, but we need to set up. So we'll start with this and hope that we hit another hardware. Okay, so we ate our Haley ability. It's pretty bad. Oh, look at us, we're Haley. Look at us go, we're Haley. Oh, guys, we're Haley. Yeah, that's probably wasn't good. First responders, thank you. Oh, that's a Lacosta. Uh-oh. That's an Issei. Biovault doesn't matter. 3 net chips is definitely suspect here. I'm good. Last I remember, the game transitioned from a print game to basically digitally only. Is still the case? No, not at all, actually. So Nisei has been the community-run organization that's been supporting the game with new cards, with organized play, balanced stuff. And while this year there's been more digital tournaments because playing in person is very difficult, if not even impossible in a lot of places, the cards are physically printable. I have a whole binder of all of them, let alone extras. So no, there's still a lot of physical play. You just print them at like a website like Make Playing Cards. They're not like sold at like conventional FLGSs. Okay, let's give him money. Oh, that's good. That's a double install. That gives us some gas. So we want to draw one more. We'll double install and hit caddy. Okay, so what are we missing? Tinkering and more Persephones. That's I think all we need. We gotta find. Hope that's an Engram Flash on R&D or a slot machine. But also they have 40 cards in their deck and they're well on the way to score out here. We're giving them good money. Do you think they think we're an Apocalypse deck? I feel like that chip means that we're not an Apocalypse deck. But I think Close can just score out faster than we can. Yeah, considering that's threatening a really big score already. In theory, we could tempo out a Hyperdriver. I think we tempo out a Hyperdriver here, right? I don't think we need to go full greed. Yeah, I think we'll tempo one out. I think we need the turn. No, we'll find it. We'll find another one. Greed? I think we'll lose sooner than that. Like, look how bad this draw is. That's really bad. So we don't need the next net chip, I don't think. No, we definitely don't. We can install one more card, but our credits are bad. In the Groove is bad. We probably don't need another Stim Hack, let alone Stim Hack straight into Nisei. Seems pretty rough. I think we're just gonna hit caddy. Yeah, this easily could be another 4-2, and then they're on game point, and then we're not gonna actually see our deck do anything. So at least at that point, we can start face checking wantonly. Uh-oh. Oh shit, chat hasn't been scrolling, might be. So one of those is Biovault, Ice on it, and Essentials as well. 13 credits means that it can definitely hit us with an Ansi, let alone a DNA tracker. All that would be pretty bad. We get a free card draw from Beth. They get a credit. Let us go. Okay. So we can self-modifying code into... So if we find a Stargate, we could... Sorry, if we find... We can simul-chip into... Yeah, we're not that far off, right? Right, we're not that far off. You need all the economy. Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to hit Katie here. Or Caddy. So in theory, they can score an Obakata here, which would be fine, right? Like, it's game point, but at least it's not doesn't do anything for them. And now we can, in theory, combo off. Okay, so if we hit a slot machine or an engram flush, how much can we mill? So every time that we install SMC into Persephone, that's 7 credits. It's 3 credits to bring out our hyperdriver here. So do you think we just go for it? I think we might just go for it here. And how much can we mill? We need to run so they resin ice before we Persephone. Oh, that's actually a really good point. We do need to run first. I think we can face check with this hand. Go take our clicks. Card draw, nice. Oh, that's good. Let's check HQ. We want to find an engram flush here. And if they call event though, we'll lose our stim hack and we'll lose our tinkering. Our tinkering is more important. But we can always like SMC into in theory we could have stim hacked here to SMC into like, I guess. Angolo? Oh, border control. That's fine. In theory there's a subroutine on here we can let fire over and over again, but we actually don't have a fractor. Forcing them to spend some money, which is good. Let's get a slot machine here in engram. It's happened. It's happened. My friends. Hardware, hardware, hardware. Oof. Okay. I think we can do it. Fuck it. Let's go. So there's a net chip coming up into a simul chip into a simul chip. Oh boy. Get an agenda here. Hedge fund. Okay. Okay, I think we just take Caddy. The problem is they're going to ice it up again. At least they're drawing a gamble and not another piece of ice. If they ice this up, I think my heart is racing. Yeah, they're probably safe against Apocalypse, right? They have the Nisei token. They have everything else. So we have to do the math here. Please don't install an ice. Okay, thank God. Okay. I was thinking. Okay, so we have to think. The money we have doesn't matter. And we only have access to 2 self-modifying codes. So if we pull one for Hyperdriver, one for Persephone, I think we have to do that. I think SMC for Hyperdriver, 2 clicks are gone due to tokens. Yeah, but getting another Persephone doubles the value of each run, which is probably better. Like we install a Persephone on our turn with self-modifying code, so we install 2 Persephones. Then we SMC for another Hyperdriver or another Persephone. Can someone do the math? Need enough clicks to run archives twice. I think we can mill them out. I think we can mill them out. I haven't done the math. Okay, so that's on their turn. It's 6 mils per run? No more. We can make it 9. It's 6 mils per run. Wait, why is everyone yell? What am I watching? Oh, we're doing something cool. 2 Persephones equals 6 mils per run, thinking. So we can have 14, we can have 7 clicks, but we can make that more. We can make that 8, 9, 10 clicks. Stim hack that Persephone? No, if they'll stim hack, they'll Nisei it. I don't think, the money doesn't matter. We don't need to stim hack it. Hyperdriver, their third, hold on, chat. You need to get the Hyperdriver on their turn. It's too late to get on yours. Oh yeah, but we can still do it before we take our turn. The question is whether we self-modifying code for another Persephone or for Hyperdriver. It's definitely the Hyperdriver. I think. Wait, he's right? You have to pull Hyperdriver first. Yeah, I want to pull it now before we take our clicks. I might have fucked up the window, but I think we all know what I'm trying to do here. Okay, first click. Tinkering. There's nothing to it. Let's go. We got to make sure that we have 2 extra clicks because we know Biovault and this. Event, nothing matters. We're going to mill these cards anyways. Oh my god. Trash 3, Tash 3. Axis. NGO front. That's another trash. Run. R&D. Oh, can we do it? I think we can. I think we can just mill them. We don't have to run R&D if we just mill them. Hey, meow, little cat. It's okay. Trash 3, Trash 3. Don't die to snare. We won't die. Oh, Bacata? Fuck, that's fine. We'll mill it. I love to heat up dinner is happening. We found it. You don't need to steal. There's enough clicks to mill. Yeah, I think we just mill them. Oh my god. Oh, they're dead. They're dead. We can do this 3 more times. Trashing that actually doesn't matter. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's another Persephone. Thumble rig. So we have 5 more clicks. Good fucking game. Oh man, there's some ice it works on, and the slot machine is the best one. Oh man, we're gonna get hyper sent into the Shadow Realm again. Oh, sick. What a pivot. So obviously we could have ran more and we could have milled another. We would have lost 2 clicks to Biovault and Nisei, but we had another 18 mills, right? Like we could do 6, 12, 18. We could have milled the whole deck. I had no idea that was going. You were pushing it too. I think if you're pushing it too, you were on track to win. If they had another piece of ice here, like we would totally fuck this up. So like this is 100% Swiss cheese. But oh man, great. Thanks for the game, eh? Like they had it. They had Biovault, they had Nisei. We can't run this remote. We have to do something stupid here, and that's really stupid. This is why you need Cordyceps. Yeah, I think Cordyceps is definitely an option. Archives, Cordyceps, rearrange, something like that. Thanks for the game. See you around. Sorry, Adam, it was worth it. It really was. It was really worth it. Oh man, that is amazing. I'm so thrilled that worked. You can do some tuning to this deck. I feel like we tried with the in the grooves, and they actually got us like an extra 3 card draw, which honestly doesn't sound amazing, but you could do it. But like ice placement is so important if this idea ever works out. Paint those little machines. Compile and versificator. Oh yeah, versificator can work. Versificator tinkering is interesting. There's a chance that Ngolo could just be versificator if you have enough tinkerings or Pelongis, because it is really flexible. It's going to slow you down, but yeah, versificator gives a lot of option. Is 3 Persephone needed? I think so. Okay, because like that is a good situation where we had 10 clicks and every mill was 6. But you saw in like the other list, that the other game that we played is that we only were milling, there's only 2 Subroutines that fire. There's a lot of ice where you're not going to get 3 Subroutines to fire. So having multiple Persephones seems really good. So I think it is definitely good. It also helps you get it earlier, which helps with your self-modifying code tax and paying a lot of money. Was there a runner card that adds subs to an ice? I don't think so. No, I don't think there is. There's corp cards that do it though. Oh man, I'm having so much nostalgia right now. I might have to start playing again. Yo, Dragon, it's a really good time to start into it. Also, if you want to get back into the game, Nisei is making, they said really soon, they said they're going to talk about it really soon if you keep on this website, but they're having some new starter decks to teach the game or to get into the game. So it's like you buy a deck with like 74 new cards and it gives you a runners and corps that you can start to play. It's going to be called System Gateway and it should be coming out in the next month or so. So it's a really good place to jump on as well. Rip Paintbrush. Yeah, Paintbrush obviously would be good, but that one's rotated. I'm genuinely hyped for System Gateway. I'm so hyped for System Gateway. I'm really so hyped. And Nisei said they would talk about it soon. Somebody posted the System Gateway article on Reddit and everyone's like, oh, sick. And then realized it was published in June. And they're like, wait a second, why'd you do this? And then Nisei was like, hey, we didn't post this. But yeah, we're going to be saying something soon, I'm pretty sure. Egret? Yeah, Egret too. I miss Egrid and Deg Deer. That was like top jank. When I played Shaper jank, it was all Deg Deer all day, and I miss Deg Deer for sure. Anywho, I'm really glad that worked out. That's gonna be it for tonight. We'll be back in a week. Where can I look at what's currently legal? Hold on. Nisei.net, Jagan. If you want to play standard format, which I'd say is the most popular format, but it doesn't mean you have to play it. People on Genteki.net play anything else. I think an easy way is go to organized play and go to supported formats, and it tells you which products are in that. It's mostly all the new cards, and then for a restricted list, or like a ban list, it's just a ban list. So none of these cards are legal in the format. It's relatively simple. It's simpler than it's been for a while, but there's no restricted cards, stuff like that, just banned cards. So yeah, you can check that out. Does it say actually on Libnil on Netrunner DB what's legal? I didn't know that. But Netrunner DB will tell you like built for standard ban list. If you see that on a deck list you built, you're in a good spot. Okay, anyways, that's all. We'll be back next week. Yeah. That's largely it. Thanks to everyone hanging out in chat, everyone we played games against, everyone helping build some cool stuff, and everyone watching the VOD. Hopefully you're doing well, taking care of yourself. Go play some Millennium Blades or some Battlecon or an awesome. Or I read Vincent said that was awesome, so I said that was awesome on accident. Gotta publish this one, Andre, to get the deck of the week. Yeah, I know, I really do. But if it's not excuse me, it's not optimized. It really isn't optimized. So we got to work on this one. Maybe next week we'll polish it out. 100% win rate. It really has been 100% win rate. Undefeated. That's largely it. Take care, y'all.